At last.
The king's back and the throne's mine. The future's here and it's my time. Straight shot, going for the head with it. Take his head off and say that I did it. Good riddance. Say hi to the bad guy, I'm back in business. If you took what's mine, I'm back to get it. There's nothing you can do, I'm back with vengeance. Now turn me loose. Now turn me loose.
At last.
The king's back and the throne's mine. The future's here and it's my time. Straight shot, going for the head with it. Take his head off and say that I did it. Good riddance. Say hi to the bad guy, I'm back in business. If you took what's mine, I'm back to get it. There's nothing you can do, I'm back with vengeance. Now turn me loose. Now turn me loose.
At last.
The king's back and the throne's mine. The future's here and it's my time. Straight shot, going for the head with it. Take his head off and say that I did it. Good riddance. Say hi to the bad guy, I'm back in business. If you took what's mine, I'm back to get it. There's nothing you can do, I'm back with vengeance. Now turn me loose. Now turn me loose.
Hey, what's going on, guys? Everybody, it's Angels represent for the Gray Pill Podcast. We're going to have a great conversation for you. Appreciate everybody for coming on through. If you are new, definitely hit the subscribe button, hit the all bell notification, because what happened is YouTube will unsubscribe you and do something silly. So if you have your favorite subscribers, like we'll have here, the guests, make sure you have the all bell notification is set on there. So let me get a special shout out to everybody. Appreciate I guess Woody came on through. Appreciate you Woody. God Mama. Oh, appreciate you, God Mama, coming on through. That was a good conversation on the other end. A little bit extra dramatic. We don't do that over here. You know, we might have some feisty, spicy engagements, but no drama, no drama. Shout out to Cheeky, appreciate you. I don't know what that means. What he's saying over for Sama. I really don't understand what that means. Shout out to you, Dunteezy. All right, Dunteezy, which is funny. Everybody can do the pronunciation of his name, but we just throw Dame's name under the bus for some reason. I don't know why. We just throw his name straight under the bus. Shout out to you, Mary Bell. Appreciate you like always. Angry Ginger. Appreciate you, man. We're gonna definitely get the political talk thing going. If it don't be this Thursday, we're gonna try to make it, shoot it for next Thursday. Also, I got to we got to talk too, because I want to make sure the political realm is not really my strong suit. So I'll make sure we have some topics and conversations for every Thursday. So we're gonna have like a political discussion on our end. But this Thursday, I'm trying to actually reach out to somebody for a casual conversation, if possible. Shout out to AKA the Simp, AKA the Blue Pill, AKA the Emperor God Simp out there. Shout out to you, Daryl Long, Brother Jumbie. Yeah, we're gonna get it right now, man. So I appreciate everybody for coming on through. I don't know if we have any new people up in here, except for the ones I mentioned earlier. The family. Appreciate you, Vic BC Live. Definitely appreciate y'all guys. Okay, so where we at?
For those that's listening out there in the YouTube universe, shout out to Great Pill Podcast. Go holler at him. Hell yeah. Give him a like and subscribe. Go view his channel, if you will. Courtesy of Classic Lights.
For all your Spanish watchers and viewers, Telemundo, Univision, Galavisión. Hola, buenos días, buenas tardes y buenas noches, damas y caballeros. Por favor, suscriben, gusten y por favor compartir este canal de YouTube. Cualquier parte del mundo donde están ahorita, por favor. Familia, amigos o socios de trabajo, lo que sea, por todo el mundo, por favor, suscriben al canal del TheGreyPillPodcast, el Pastilla Gris, por favor. Muchas gracias.
All right. With that being said, let's get everybody up in here. Introduce my co-host, like always, Classic Ruby. Sound like I got like a feedback on your end, Ruby. I don't know if it's sound like a fan or something.
We'll work on that.
Okay, good stuff. Shout out to Dame. If everybody don't know Dame, friend of the Great Pill Podcast. Also, you can catch him at his content too. He had a lot of great stuff on there. Can I get some podcasts? And just for the people who can't read, is Damien or Dame for short. All right. It's like I feel like I gotta promote your name than mine. we'll get it all figured out.
Do you still hear the feedback sound?
No, you're good.
Okay.
And last but not least, Wes, aka the Plaid Pill. Appreciate you, Wes.
Always happy to be here.
Appreciate you, man. Appreciate you. AKA Mr. Sleepy, AKA this, AKA that. A lot of AKAs.
Okay. I know you have that many AKAs, but okay. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. When he went to Plaid Pill, I was like, all right, let's go. And last but not least, Miss Ashely. Appreciate you, Ashely.
Hello.
Hi.
Hey.
What's up, Ashely?
It's going to be an interesting night. Okay. I see what you're doing here. Okay. It's going to be interesting. I'm looking forward to this one.
How's your weekend? How's everybody Labor Day weekend?
Good.
Do we celebrate Labor Day in Canada?
Mm-hmm. It seems to be like the only like one of these random holidays that we share besides like Christmas, that we actually share the data. Like Christmas, Valentine's Day, and Labor Day. Even if we have holidays at the same time, like Memorial Day for y'all is like something else for us. Like, you know what I mean? Or like we'll have like a holiday a week apart, but Labor Day weekend we have at the same time. I don't know.
Okay. Fair enough. Appreciate you, Ron Volts. Oh, I want to give a special shout out to, I don't know if she's in the clouds or in the chat. She go by the name of Indian Mom, I think it was. We had a casual conversation a couple of days ago. I pulled up her chat, read it so we could respond to it. And I had a guest on that pretty much like name called, said a name to her. We don't do that here. All right. The chat knows better. The chat don't do name calling. Don't be calling nobody all types of names. We're all about the conversation. And I get it. If you don't like certain people based on the responses and people says, that's fine. Say whatever you want to say, but just don't be calling people out their names. So I apologize humbly for myself for the Great Pill Podcast to India Mom. I did check it then, but I just want to make sure it's brought up now. We don't do the name calling. The chat is the chat. The panel is the panel. Two separate worlds. Chat has their own little conversation in reaction to what we say. That's the basic of a podcast / panel. So stay out the chat. If it's something relevant to the conversation that a chat adds into the conversation, I will definitely pull it up and read it like a super chat because I respect all my supporters here, subscribers, and people new to the chat. So appreciate you. Hit that subscribe button, hit that like, and that bell notification. Thank you. So we're going to get to it. So anybody see the new conversation or / interview with where Brittany Renner and Charleston White?
Yes.
Okay.
I have not seen it.
Who did not see it?
Honestly, I saw the
didn't see it.
highlights of it, and then when you said you had a difference of opinion or you had a thought of it, and I was like, let me go see the actual beginning, and then Ash was like, made a comment. I don't want to expose her thoughts, and I was like, okay, this might be an interesting conversation. This might be an interesting conversation.
I'm ready for it.
All right, let me get the little share button going on. And they actually brought the full interview out of hiding. It's not even on members.
Oh, it's not on that level. Got to be registered to level 1 bull. Oh man, I would have watched it again today if I had known that. Okay, probably not because I was doing nothing today. But I mean, you know, I could have. Is the point if I knew? Yeah, my homeboy Do Better podcast. He was like finding every clip and stuff that condense and find it. And then I think LT did a conversation about it, but the full one is actually here. So I appreciate them letting us grace us with the presence. So I'm gonna speed it up a little bit so everybody can get their take on it. So this is at the Denzer Project. Definitely go support them. I'll make sure I got all the buttons right. How many subscribers does it say he has today now?
It is currently at 33.7 subscribers, and that video hit like 34K views. Because I don't think they had a lot of content, right? I think it's like they had like 100 or 200 something videos. I'm guessing
like 300 something.
Yeah.
When I first like caught wind of this and actually went to his channel to look at stuff, I think clip 7 had just dropped, and he was they were at 28K. Now they're at 33K. But if you look at their channel, the only thing that has done numbers on their channel has been Charleston White, really. So everything else they've done, they get like 100 to maybe 500 kind of views. And then Charleston White was on twice now. It seems like 2 different conversations. And every time they do a clip of Charleston White, it's like somewhere between 50K to like hundreds of thousands of, views. So it seems like that's right now they're trying to build a name. And right now they're building that name off of drama, specifically Charleston White drama. So
let me say this real quick. Ron said we got trolls over here in TT. I don't know what's TT channel. There's no trolls in this channel, and the mods know what to do. But just for sake, because I had Tommy Temper is a Canadian space where he actually supports people's channel, and if you have like a large enough people in the chat, he will send it over as a show of support and send like nuke bombs. So shout out to Tommy Temper in the Canadian space over there. So don't get freaked out to the mods if you see like a bunch of nuke bombs coming up here. So they're doing it out of support. All right. So Tommy Temper. But again, if nobody's not actually saying anything egregious or disrespectful, it's fine. Free conversation, free speech, but just don't be going out your way calling people names. All right, so let's get to the video.
But let's Carl, you're a huge Andrew Tate fan. This guy was preaching Andrew Tate. Get out of here. I never delete messages, Landon. They're all in there. But that is the truth.
So okay, let's go back. First of all, Andrew Tate's awesome.
Yes,
I met him
yes,
in real life. He's the perfect.
Look at it. For me, she already lost one cool point. She said Andrew Tate is awesome. Let's get it.
Well, can you notice though how sober she is? I think it's really important that people note how sober, coherent, calm, and chill she is at the beginning, because it's like people think that drugs or alcohol had nothing to do with this, but she's really chill right now, right? Like I met him. He's a cool guy, whatever. Like she's not anti-male. People are like, oh, see, she couldn't hold it up. She's still anti-male. She's anti-this. She's anti-that. But she starts off by being really chill, really calm, and saying, actually, he's a really great guy. He's really nice. I like him. And that's Andrew Tate of all people. Not that I'm saying that we should like that. What I'm saying is that the narratives that are being spun seem to be bullshit so far.
All right. Fair enough. Mm-hmm. Shout out to you, Big Dig.
Perfect gentleman. So what was your reason of hating me? I would love to fucking hear it.
She's a man eater.
What? How am I a man eater?
Well, based on what was viral on social media.
Okay, and what was that?
just
Because it's specific. I don't do generalities. And well, I saw and like, what was
well,
your reason?
well, real
What was
shit
your
is
reason?
real shit. It was the
Well, hold on. I can give my own because I feel like I need to answer that one too. Because I don't. First of all, hate is a strong word. I don't hate her. I didn't like how she carried herself in every platform that she was on. She literally wrote a book on how to, lure other men and specifically sports athletes in a younger age that was younger than her. She actually went on like a pretty much a tour that was paid for. Was it Deion Sanders? Where she, pretty much was explaining to other men how not to be like me because that's some of the things that she did. And again, I'm gonna express the book again. She actually wrote a how-to book. So even one of her videos with her on Instagram, she talked about how she's just gonna do what she want to do and get to other men. So I mean, I won't use the word hate, but that's not a good look, especially now you are number one, you're a woman, have some self-respect for yourself. You're a human being, again, have some self-respect for yourself. You was married, have some self-respect for yourself. You had a child with somebody else, again, have some self-respect for yourself. And your child is going to be walking around this world, which is media is pretty much plastered all over the place to the point it's like, look, you don't have no self-respect for yourself and your child. So any thoughts on that? Shout out to Tommy Tempers with the nukes.
Yeah, I view Brittany Renner a little bit different. I view her as a seriously damaged person who gets used a lot, whether it's physically, whether it's like for these sound bites and stuff like that. I think she has some issues that are unaddressed that people tend to like want to push at, because I don't want to jump ahead, but she didn't start getting any type of hyphy until they brought up one specific aspect of her life. I think she got set up. Don't get me wrong, it doesn't justify behaviors. I think she really needs to get a lot of significant help in order to deal with these issues she had that can drive her to act like this. But I really feel like she was set up, because let the clip roll and you'll see exactly when the setup starts and how they continue to just even when she wasn't buying it, they just continued to just insert that into the conversation. She's had a myriad. They could have asked about sleeping with little Uzi Vert. They could have asked her about all kinds of stuff, but they just stuck on this one point because they knew this was her the thing that gets her the most incensed. So keep it pushing.
All right, fair enough.
Well, I'll say this. In my opinion, everything, if you tell people, name 5 things about Brittany Renner, the only things they know basically start at the moment she got pregnant for PJ. Like, and then no one else knows anything about her, as though like her entire existence started at that moment. But the thing is, A, it didn't. B, the context of her life up until that moment paints a completely different picture of who she is. And so that, C, in context, then we know that she says it constantly. Like, she's been a really honest person, considering the fact that we're using her actual reality, her actual life as cannon fodder in the media. She's been incredibly vulnerable, open, and honest. And she said they wanted a villain. They wanted a villain, so I'll be that. That's what she said, right? Shout out to I'll Be That News. But she said, y'all want a villain, I'll be that. I heard her say those exact words multiple times, but people forgot that, oh, wait a minute. So she wasn't a villain before that moment? Has anyone even looked? No, of course no one did, right? I did. I when she first started getting really big, she's pregnant for this ball. They're like, oh, look at her. She's, we should be calling her a predator and this and that, whatever. I actually did a deep dive on this chick. And it was easy because she had all of her stuff up on Instagram still and whatever from like 10 years before, from the time she was like 17, 18 years old. Did anyone bother? Or did everyone just decide that? All
right. To be fair, we got like 2 hours and West didn't see this.
Oh, okay. Sorry. Go ahead. Sorry.
You're good. Ashely, you have any thoughts thus far?
No, I'm just chilling. I'm kind of learning a little bit. I don't know a whole lot. I don't know much about her except what Ruby just said. Like I've just heard a lot of people hate on her because she was married to PJ Washington. They had a baby, then she left him or filed for divorce a few days later. and she's a 304, right? That's what you hear. And then the next thing I saw was I'm not saying she is. I'm telling you what I've heard, right? Like those aren't my words, sorry. But then the next thing I see is her. Well, we'll get into it. Is this so?
So, Brittany Renner lives for the limelight. She wants the attention. Doesn't matter if it's good or bad. I don't think she's necessarily preyed on anyone, or anyone's necessarily preyed on her. Everybody knew what they were getting into. She had a full ad campaign with Crystal Burger for being a side chick.
Yeah, I seen that commercial.
So, I mean, she just loves the limelight.
Fair enough.
I don't know if it was PJ at first. I don't know. Like, there was. I wouldn't be able to recall for you.
Wait, hate is a strong word, babe. You talking about you hate me?
Yeah.
Okay, so that's what I'm saying.
I'm a dickhead, so I start off initially just like, all right, if I hate her, I like this person. So
that's what I'm saying. So there had to be something that I said that stood out to you. So that's why I'm asking you to recall the specific video or event.
I don't.
So that just means it really wasn't hate, babe.
Yeah, it was hate. It was hate for me. That's how I felt.
Oh, I just feel like you would remember it if it was.
No, I don't.
That's what I wanted to say, though. That's the thing. Usually, how you first find out about Brittany Renner, you can't just say it.
What's the Brittany Renners?
Let me finish.
I love this.
Y'all gonna have to stand on some shit up in here.
I got you. So that's my point. The way that majority of the time you guys are introduced to us is through us, meaning the public, the general public, scrolling through social media, for you page, all that is through inflammatory posts. It's the shit that goes viral. It's the bad shit. It's the negative shit. It's only when people tune in, see that Andrew Tate has a message, Kevin Samuels has a message, Brittany Renner has a message, Charleston White has a
Kevin Samuels is also somebody that I hated at first.
I won't say what they won't say.
Ready to start eating.
There we go. Good stuff.
I can't really say too much about Kevin Samuels. Like, I know he had a message, but we all had to understand at the same time, like, he reinvented himself. And I don't want to go too much on him, but as far as Andrew Tate goes, Andrew Tate, like, he kept saying Andrew Tate is saying some good stuff, but to me, I don't think he was saying good stuff. He was saying pretty much the basics, and everybody just ate it up. Like, if I say, hey, dang, be a man, lift yourself up. Great Pill, you're saying the most awesome thing. I didn't know that. Okay, well, you did have a mother, a father, an uncle, a sister, a brother, a teacher, peer counselors. Wasn't they saying this all your life when you was born? So I don't really see anything of value that Andrew Tate says, except for everything just like buzz and hype stuff. So that's my opinion.
When they use rich niggas and throw them to the dog, like
Man,
you had a baby.
yeah.
You know, like you just had a baby by this NBA player, as soon as you find out.
I don't think it was.
So they, that's what really caught my interest and made me look further than what they was painting about you, right? So they had you painted as this beautiful woman who uses rich men, right? So that's the personification that was out there.
Whether it's true or not.
Whether it's true or not, and so you didn't try to change the narrative, right? You just became who you were, and people got to know you for who you were. You didn't try to debunk it, right? So you got all these guys in the locker room, in the weight room, at the barbershop, in the corner, having this discussion about you and your baby daddy, and the world paints you as the villain.
Before you talk about it, I don't know if it was PJ Washington for me that it was initially. I just know that there was viral clips. You were somebody that grew up behind that camera for a lot of people, like Brittany Renner spoken about all the time. So people do get the wrong impression. I'm not going to sit here and not be one of those, or be one of those people that won't be honest about it. That is the first impression. Social media.
What
you know what I'm saying? Social media is dead ass. That's how it works.
You got the basketball wives. You got the
the
hip hop wives. So you got all of these, and then you got you over here standing on your own. And for the most part, it looked like you won, right? So it looked like you won. But if people look further, you got your degree. You're an athlete, so it's more to it. But on the front of it, the hood chicks look like you won. The niggas that pay child support probably hate Brittany Renner. The niggas who look like they probably lost or been in a situation that somebody probably won and it was a win-lose situation in their mind, they probably have some sentiments of their caliber.
Yes. Okay. So at this point right here, so he's giving her flowers about, she got the education, all this stuff. So she had the career degree. So at that point, even if the dude did what he did and they split up, so why wouldn't you just like, you know what, let me just use my degree and my education and move forward in a different way? Why would I want to be on a spotlight doing the things I'm doing? Wouldn't that make more sense?
She didn't want to be in the spotlight, and that's what I was saying earlier, right? But the world wanted a villain. She didn't choose to be the villain. Like, she didn't, for all that people keep painting her as she wanted all this attention, whether good or bad, people are forgetting how it actually started. Because how it actually started is People just caught wind of the fact that this woman who was older than her college ball player boyfriend, right, got pregnant, and that she's one of those hot girls that, oh, everyone wants to date, and she's dated other famous people. So they turned her into a villain, whether or not she wanted to be one, right? The same thing happened to Karrueche Tran, right? But people they villainized the woman instead of recognizing like, oh, wait a minute, let's go back. Oh, wait, we villainized that woman. That woman just went to live her life. Oops. So
hold on. Like you're gonna see me like, because I feel for this woman, but I'm all about accountability. She recognized a opportunity in being the villain. She saw that she could monetize that by playing the villain role, and I think that's what happened. But it may have gotten too much for her. I don't think she was like, oh my God, they're the villain. Because she could have easily stepped away from all of this, raised her kid, and be nobody's. But it should have been Brittany would have been not even thought of 5 years from now. But she wanted to remain because she saw it was an opportunity to shine. If you watch the Kevin Samuels interview, she said, "I feel like I am meant here to shine. So I am meant to be in the spotlight." So she was willing to be like, if I got to be in the spotlight as the hero or as the villain, I will take it, because I don't feel like. Nope, you're not going to forget Brittany Renner. I'm just not going to fall back into the back and just kind of live a basic life. I'm meant to be more than who I am, and I'm going to find a way to monetize that. That's what Brittany Renner did. That's where she kind of set herself up for this. Don't get me wrong. I feel like there are a lot of people who exploited Brittany Renner, and it's going to this clip progress, you're going to actually see it happening in 4K, but she is an active participant in her own situation. She does not get a pass as a victim. She is not a victim in this situation exclusively. She is a participant, but I don't think she's too damaged to really realize what's happening to her.
I agree with you, Dame.
I concur with Damian.
We also can't forget that, I mean, I know that she's expressed remorse for it, but that she said legitimately, like, it's easy to get knocked up by a pro ball player. They don't wear condoms.
Right. But okay, so now here's the thing, right? Because that was written in her book, which everyone knows about. And I just challenged one person to say one thing that Brittany Renner ever did or said before she was already with PJ and knocked up. No one knows.
No,
and this is
nobody cared about her.
She
She found out how to get famous.
Yeah, but the problem is that we're all judging why she got into the spotlight and how she got there based on her having already been in the spotlight when we found out.
No. She got in the spotlight by being completely proud and accepting of the fact that she was going to she was going to have sex with famous and men of influence. That was her thing. That comment about sleeping with was before PJ. She made that comment about it. She actually tapered off when she got with PJ, because I think for a minute he was like, "Now you need to fall back." She said that comment prior to being with him, and she made other comments prior to that.
Was watch her body of work, because I watched her body of work. And the thing is, Brittany would date anybody. It's not like she wasn't just dating athletes or whatever. But what happens is she's a very naive, I'm going to say just dumb girl who gets used. She falls in love really quickly, and she gets used and then discarded very easily. And then she goes on these almost like bipolar tirades for a while and just says a bunch of stuff. But she doesn't mean the stuff she's saying. She's just speaking out of hurt because yet another guy that she thought was going to go somewhere that she thought was going to be forever dropped her again.
Accountability, though. She's still a grown-ass woman, you know? I mean, I agree with what you're saying. I agree with what you're saying.
She's moved from one man of, what do you call it? Man being in the spotlight to another man being in the spotlight and just kind of hopping all around. And then she had her whole, crystal ad campaign. She signed up for it.
This is where I go back and forth. Those men came after her. I don't think she was out there. Those men came after her. That's why there's the Corinne Steffens and the Kat Stacks and all that kind of stuff. You're like, why would these dudes go after these women, knowing that those men go after her? Because it's an ego thing for guys. They want to know, oh my God, this person who I respect was with her. If I'm with her, I'm on the same level as that person. A lot of cats went after her because of that, knowing how that she wasn't like a fully formed. Well, I'm not saying that, but that she might have had issues.
I just like to hear people's. I like to hear people's opinions because I'm myself. So I'm gonna sit right here for the dog to hold.
I don't know if it's a dog.
So when you heard me make the comment about sucker, it really wasn't necessarily to the father of the child. It was just to the it was to all the men who would look at you and feel some kind of way whether you was trying to win or not. You didn't lose. Which that's not a win-lose situation because the child is involved. But all of us, hold on, let me finish. But all of us that's sitting back on the sideline, on the outside looking in, we all have opinions. And the opinion was you became the villain.
Well,
were you the villain for a while?
I just didn't give a fuck because at the end of the day, you guys are gonna sit here and talk about winning and losing, and it's as if it was just that simple.
And it's not.
No, let it go. I want to hear what
because the reality is that I'm a hopeful romantic. I left my child's father for the 89th time. That he's a liar and a cheater. Okay, that's the only reason I left. It's just that simple. But for some reason, in the world that we live in today, I am painted as a gold digger, a man eater, all these different things because I chose myself. Because I didn't want my son to grow up and be an asshole and disrespect women. That's it. Like I wish there was more to this story. I loved him. I thought that was my guy. I'm the only one who's going to talk bad about him up here. If anybody is going to be me. We're not doing that. So that's just where it's at. Like,
you're mute, maybe.
Yeah, I thought everything was just frozen.
I'm sorry, I dropped the ball. I apologize. Yeah. So the stuff she's saying now. So again, if the stuff she's saying now, it still comes back. Like let's put the gender role. If I got disrespected or the woman's cheated me multiple times, I kept taking her back and those chances, and I exit out the relationship. Why I'm going the direction I'm going, especially I have a child in the relationship. That's the part that's still killing me. If the child wasn't in a relationship, okay, you just be another 304 IG thought. I won't even care too much. Like it's just another one on these media platforms. But you have a child, and at the same time, you're trying to speak morality. I'm just trying to teach my child this. I don't know.
Fun point of view on that one. A lot of people I see, even in the chat, comparing her to Kim K. Right? I've yet to really hear Kim K. ever say something bad about her baby's dad. Like,
yeah, she never did. But her actions though say a little bit differently though.
Well, they were split up. I mean, come on, you got to have a little romance.
I mean, yeah. I mean, the thing is like she basically said how the decisions made her feel, nothing specifically about him, how it affected her.
Sorry, are we going to pretend that Kim K didn't ruin the name of Ray J, for example, who was someone that she long dated and who actually was part of her come up, and he totally lied on him and, to ruin his character.
Ray J is not tripping. Ray J is richer than he would ever be because of Kim Kardashian.
Ray J's absolutely tripping. Are you serious? Tripping. It was like a big thing that happened last year where he actually came out and said, "Oh, you want to do this now?"
I saw that.
Right. So he was absolutely tripping. Absolutely tripping.
I'm sorry.
Come on, Ruby. Hate harder. Hate harder.
I'm just talking about the father of your children. That's all I meant. Like
Ray just biting the hand that fed him.
Episode come out yet of the Kardashians. See, this is the thing. They save all their drama for their TV shows, right? And then you have to watch their TV shows and give them all that ad revenue.
Yeah, Brittany should take a couple lessons.
Yeah, you're right about that one, Ashely.
Brittany's not an organized. See, this is the thing, and people don't realize what came first. Who published Brittany's book, right? And how did that opportunity come to be? For real, let's think about that. Which way was it? Was it that Brittany wanted to be known as the author who taught women or was it that people went and said, "Oh my God, this is a gold mine. She just got into the media because she's been dating PJ. There's a lot of hype and attention around this. Boom, I'm going to make dollar signs off of this idiot." Right? Which way was it? Right? And because I really think that if you look at which way it was, that's going to should determine how you see the situation. And it's like they just decided she's the villain and that's all there is to it. No one cares.
Dale, I'm going to halfway mildly defend Brittany Renner. Okay, so I think I've seen other women in her situation do this. She's living that crazy young life, and she's getting a little older. About 28, that's when a lot of women start their biological clock starts ticking a lot harder. Things start to change for them, and at a certain point, when a woman has a child, and this goes for men and women, when you know that you're bringing a child into the world, all your priorities change. It's a personal point of evolution for everyone, and I see it break some people. I've seen it break men, and I've seen it build men. I've seen it break women. I've seen it build women. she's trying to build herself, but she had no which way or no idea how to do that. So I think that at a certain point she had certain moral rules start to kick in, and she was trying to enact them, but it only made things worse for her because she didn't ultimately want to mature. She wanted to continue jumping around in the limelight. And I'm going to keep going back to that Crystal Burger, campaign there, because she signed up for that. She signed up to have billboards across the United States calling her, saying it's good to have a side chick.
Yeah,
She
that was
was about it.
That was a check. That was just for a check. That wasn't her. People say all kinds of stuff to believe. I've seen people hawk Cartier watches, and then you see them with a Rolex. It's like people just do things for checks.
People
that was a check.
Okay, Damien. Would you ever do gay prawn for a check? Exactly.
I don't have
wouldn't.
I have a marketable skill.
Right.
According to Brittany Renner, she has a marketable skill, but she chose the burger. But she chose
that's not what happened. No, see what happened.
She had money without it.
Marketable skill that she got through, and she was an actual athlete, right? Like she's a whatever star, whatever athlete, right? And she has an education. The problem is in this day and age, right, is that now companies Google you. So if you get any kind of negative media in any way, you have one viral video, if you go bad in some way, even if people don't know your name, all of a sudden you're unemployable, right? So now nurses can't get a job because one time they were an asshole at a supermarket, had nothing to do with their job, right? And so
why
she Brittany.
So why? Okay, so hold on. So let me ask this then. So what was actually she said went to college. So what was her background or degree? Was it nursing?
No,
I think she did something with like sports medicine, sports something. I know she played soccer. She was a collegiate soccer accident. It was something like that with like.
So because all right, I'm taking Ruby's right because Ruby keeps saying before this. So the moment her man, the baby daddy, let her go or she dumped him because of cheating, right? Whoever Googled her at that point, she still was a nobody. So she could still got the job in the career. She couldn't.
No.
She was not.
She got plenty of money without it.
She hasn't been in nobody since the day she started dating PJ Washington. Let's be real. She's been all over the manosphere and her character.
Even before that, even before that, there was Little Uzi Vert. There was Ben Simmons. There was a toast of well-known men. So yeah, she's been out there for a while. Kind of that. She what's called it. But PJ was the only thing because there was the baby involved, and there was a potential of him actually marrying her. And people was like, "Wow, you really marrying this chick who got this history of getting smashed by all these athletes?" And she thought it was her way out of that lifestyle. She thought, "Okay, somebody sees me past what I might have said on the
climbing the wall." She was climbing the wall.
No, it's not about climbing the wall. It's just about somebody. He sold her a dream that shit didn't matter. He was like, he sold her a dream that didn't matter. There's a lot of women who've been in that lifestyle because where I grew up, I've been around a lot of people who've been in type of like the light sports people, rappers and stuff like that. And they're every now and then they'll get with a woman and they're just like, okay, you're taking me seriously when other people didn't. Mm-hmm. So I'm going to put my all into this. So she really put her all in this PJ thing. She wasn't posting provocative videos. You didn't see her out. She didn't see her at the clubs. You didn't see all the stuff that what was her brand. She kind of fell back from that until they start breaking up. Then you start seeing them at the club. Then you start seeing her doing stuff. Then she realized she had to take make an ad to being a side chick in order to get money because the child support settlement, child support hadn't been settled yet. That's what happened.
Even before the child support hadn't been settled, what we're not realizing is that whole time that you're saying she was chilling, she's ill and she's good, right? Her name was being demolished online. And I know this because I was in those spaces at that time, right? So she literally, they break up, she couldn't just go back to normal civilian life. Because at that point, she was almost enemy number one. Like they knew exactly who she is. She has been branded and characterized as I think I found out about the fact that she had an education and that she was actually an athlete herself. And so all of a sudden it would make more sense than that she was hanging around sports still and whatever. I found that out maybe like a year ago. And this has been ongoing for forever, right? Like almost 8 years. So that's the thing. Like people aren't realizing that once your options are kind of gone, then you're limited. And then it makes it very easy, especially if you're already a naive, easy to manipulate person, it makes it very easy to say, hey, listen, I've got a paycheck idea for you. And trust me, this is going to empower you. Women are going to love you. Yeah. It's okay. We'll see you.
You're going to own it. People can't make you can't. You're going to own the label. That way, people can make fun of you. That's like, you'll own it. So like it's like that scene from what's the show with the Game of Thrones when he walks up when the little Tywin walks up to Jon Snow and says, calling him a bastard. He was like, get used to it, own it, so people can't use it against you. That's what it was. It was like he said, own this label so people can't use it against you, and it won't hurt you as much to hear it, because it still probably hurt her. But she was just trying to like take control of it. And I'm gonna jump ahead, but that's why I think the whole twerking and all that shit she got uncomfortable, and she was trying to take control of the situation. The only way that she probably knew how was with sexuality. That's what I think happened to this.
There we go.
That and
Hold
alcohol.
on. Let me read some of the comments. And again,
Let's get to the twerking part.
We'll make sure you get that before you leave. I appreciate everybody for coming on through. If you're new, hit the subscribe button. I see a few new comers up in here. Like always, OG Patrice, I appreciate you coming on through. Aramon Sound, I want to make sure I don't butcher your name, man. Seeing you on Speakeasy, get the internet fixer, because you was glitching all over the place. You was looking like the dude from MTV Raps back in the day. Here we go. Like that guy.
Max
he said, it says Ray J exactly who I was thinking about. I appreciate you that. Army Vet 420 says trust is like a mirror. You can fix it if it's trust is like a mirror. You can fix it if it's broken, but you can still see the crack in the deflection fire. Shout out to Knowledge and Relationships. Salute to the Great Pill Podcast with the Pill. Appreciate you, sir. Brittany B, appreciate you. Great conversation you had in the back. That should have been like straight content. We was reacting to MGTOW and Alex playing with fire, and we was pretty much doing a great breakdown of that one. So appreciate you again. Big Dice, keep those likes up. Thank you. Miss Globe Girl, thank you. I don't want to butcher your name, so Miss Globe Girl, she says hyperball is all she tried to do. Who can blame the woman? Question mark. Hyperbole. Thank you. God bless you. Shout out to brother Jumby. Says salute to Great Pill Podcast. Appreciate you, man. Yeah, that is pretty much it. So Irma son says I was multitasking to bandwidth in the boonies. Yeah. All right.
People took a narrative, and I just didn't give a fuck to clear it up. For what? Because at the end of the day, you guys are sitting here saying, well, I saw these videos, I saw this. You already had your mind made up. And
I
then,
did.
Absolutely.
I was on your side.
But you implied that, like, you were saying that, oh, she tricked a sucker. Like, you comment every day, sucker. No, he's not. We were in a relationship.
Well, you have to understand, we don't have the whole story. We only
well, then why have a fucking opinion about my shit?
Because we're humans, and you guys are considered celebrities at the time when we get the information. So most poor people, most non-famous people sit around all day long with opinions about celebrities.
That's all I'm saying, right? So that's kind of what I'm saying.
Also facts.
Didn't you hear what I said? This is barbershop talk. This is beauty shop talk. This is after the church talk. They talk about this after church.
Let me get a chance to finish the statement, because it's important with this episode specifically.
Let's fucking hear it.
You are also very hated. Way more than she would ever be.
Yeah, I came to be.
Right? But a lot of people judge you based off of a clip. And we heard Brittany when we first came in here, and she was talking about what she saw. Right? Wait, let me finish. That is what the eye-popping moment is for a lot of people to have both of you in the same room.
For her, it's her life. For me, it's a character, right? So I came.
Nah, bro. I'm sorry, trust away. People talking about these clips. I seen this dude in multiple occasions, full context, the stuff he said do. So we can put the hat on and say, yeah, I'm the WWE wrestler character. Nah, I believe you say the stuff you say, but that's a whole nother story.
If he says what he said is true, he is the scum of the earth, and I don't know why anybody would have to sit next to him on a platform. I just can't understand it.
I can't either.
No, I believe him, actually. And the reason why I believe him is because of the way he actually behaves, the way he treats women around him, whether it be his wife or like random people, like in reality, how he actually treats them goes so far against the things that he says that it's very obvious that when he says, I created a character so that way I could basically outrage farm, I 100% believe him. I think he's outraged.
I don't care. I don't care what character it is. If your character is based on you admitting to SAing women, drugging and SAing women, and repeat on multiple different platforms with your whole saying it with your whole chest, you, my friend, are a piece of shite.
Yep.
But that's he's being one, and He's doing it on purpose because it happens all the time. It happens in a way that it's so normal that even though it was normal as hell in Cosby's time, and he had to catch flack for it now, 40 years later, still happens now where guys invite the chicks over, give them some weed.
But nobody gets on TV and says,
you want some whatever. They know that these are not women who are about spreading their legs like that, but then back them into a corner. They don't got no friends to defend them, and they have the alcohol and drugs in them anyway, so then they're getting smacked and passed around from person to person. That happens all the time.
Nobody is broadcasting that stuff. They're doing it. They're keeping that shit in the shadows. This motherfucker went out there. Sorry, this guy went out there and said it with his chest and corrected
why did he say
when somebody got it
because
wrong.
people like you think it doesn't happen all the time. And
no, he just it didn't.
It does happen all the time.
Time out. He's not saying it didn't happen. He's saying it doesn't matter if he's pretending or faking. Why would you go out your way to pretend to be a admitted SA person or admitted rapist to people and add context to it? And then when somebody else correcting stuff you say, you even add more correcting them to say, I did say it, but I'm even putting more emphasis on it. Those type of people.
I didn't say women. I said white women. I mean, it was just like he even emphasized, like, get it right.
Yes. He's an outraged farmer. Outraged farmers say outrageous. The whole way that they do commentary, the whole way, it's kind of like how satirists or comedians, they say things and make jokes about things, but they're really actually making like social commentary, right? He's an outraged farmer. He's doing it on purpose.
Okay, so let me ask this. So here's the question now then. So the question is now whether he's faking it or he's the real person. Do either or get a pass. Would you invite that type of element in your home?
I mean, I wouldn't invite anyone from the internet. No offense to all of y'all, but I wouldn't invite any of y'all into my home. I don't know you.
There you go.
Right?
All right.
I don't know any of y'all.
Look, all I'm saying is, if this is what you got to do to get a check, you are still, my friend, is a piece of shit. Yep. You are a low value human being. If this is where you have to take anything in order to get a check, and this is what this meant. So it's even worse if he's pretending to be that. There's a difference. I did this. Hold on a second. He's been on more podcasts than he ever did. He's been more. He's having comedy shows. He's doing all this stuff because people are like, that started off the whole situation. Oh, we like how he doesn't care. People like people for some reason. People like people who just buck social norms and like, I don't care about the things. I just say it as it is. I'm honest, even if what you're saying, being honest about is despicable. I mean, it's just one of those things.
Are despicable. He thinks FNF are despicable. He thinks the followers who are cheering for the disgusting stuff he says.
He thinks everybody because that was a financial thing. He thinks he's mad at FNF because from something financial. It has nothing to do with what he said. He sat on their thing. There was a financial issue, and now he got a problem with him. He did the same thing to other people. So all I'm saying is just like, I don't care. You're not going to convince me that if it was an act, I don't care if it's I still don't like the dude who off a Players Club who essayed that stripper Roddy's little brother, because you just don't get away from acting like that's how you get down. You don't get a pass from me if saying, hey, I created this character.
Because people know him in real life and know he's not like that in real life, including his wife, including his children, including everyone, right?
Okay,
see, the problem is, the point, this is exactly the point he's making. This is exactly the point he's making. Is, you know what? He's okay with you thinking he's a piece of crap and and no one ever, he's okay with
he's going to make money. Because he's getting paid.
No. He's okay with it because it's not actually who he is, and because people who know him in real life know who he really is and what he's really about. The difference between Charleston and Brittany is that we are actually attacking Brittany for her actual life and for her actual. So when we're sitting there and bastardizing everything she says and twisting all of her words and it's cruel to her because that's her real life. He doesn't care. The more y'all hate him, he doesn't care because it's not his reality. This was literally the point he's making, and people are like missing. Oh, he's lying. Why the hell would he say?
Which makes him dangerous to society. Which makes him a danger to society.
I agree. Back to the video.
To be hated. I came to be misunderstood. We're looking at her life. So it's something totally different. You see what I'm saying? I came to get everything that I'm getting. Right. All the hate. So I signed up. She didn't.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
You have somewhat of a escape.
So this what made me dig deeper into her when Deion Sanders took her to go talk to those college boys.
I think I just dove deeper into her because I dove deeper into other individuals, and I felt like I needed to hear you speak individually. And then when I heard you speak, I'm like, damn, she's actually kind of dope. And that's how, but that's what it is. If we allow a narrative to go around and we say, let's pick up the narrative of what everybody else says about, because I'm that person. I'm hated. I'm just hated.
So
I'm a dickhead, and I know I am. I'm well aware.
This is what a narrative does for me. If a person catches my attention, it makes me go get the backstory to that person. That's why I became a fan. I went and got the backstory. Right. If you don't get the backstory to how this person even became a narrative, then you don't have anything really to stand on with what you feel or your opinion. Right. So I try not to have opinions about people who I don't get the backstory to. Now.
Very true. And again, like, so we started Brittany Renner off in the right place. See how she's exactly what I expected her to be. She's fiery, but it is true. I'm not going to sit here and bullshit either.
But let me just say this:
I think that everybody should do research on individuals before we have an opinion, especially when it comes to social media, because it's the most doctored up bullshit clips. And I'll tell you what made it.
I actually have to agree to that too, because even when I do content, and I know you and your partner Ruby on y'all end, y'all go through the extensive homework on a lot of content y'all do. I know a lot of people in the podcasting world, as soon as stuff comes up like this, for example, people want to be the first one to clip it, to make a short out of it, to react, especially just to react to it and just have like one side of it. I'm pretty much on the fence with a little bit with Wes and Ash. Like, well, Ash said I just don't know the person really, period. Man, Wes, like, we just didn't see it. I saw the ending highlights of the quote unquote, like Wes said, the twerking part. So, but I knew of most of her backstory. I didn't know the one, like you said, like before. It only goes by what she said. So I'm like, okay, again, I can't be solo on this bias stuff. Let's just bring the group together, have a conversation about it, because it just can't be a one person. It would just make it feel like, for me, just attacking. So it definitely got to be a conversation. And I like to wait when stuff like airs out a little bit more, because when that happens, most people like do like an extra deep dive on it. So I definitely agree with him on that one.
Switch for me with everything that went on is the tears, the pain. That ass, no, the pain. And I'm like, you know what? It's, if you look at what people post and then you watch a person's pain, you can't fake that. You can't fake the pain. There was clearly love there. There was clearly a lot of time put there, and there was obviously something real. It wasn't just some bullshit moment that a lot of people see, because most people only think it lasted for a week. Mm-hmm. They don't know that clearly, obviously, if you have a child. You know what I mean? There's the 9-month process, 10-month process, and that. And there's the love that actually was there. But most people won't want to acknowledge shit like that. And I don't want to get into that, to be honest with you. I don't want to talk about that situation. I mainly want to have a conversation about where we are today. Right? The Dancer Project is a different type of podcast. I always try to tell people it's more network than a podcast. And so what we want to talk about is like, what's dope now. It's not all about the clickbait bullshit. It's not what I care about. But I did want to try to bring that out at first. Is I got the wrong impression about you when I first heard of Brittany Renner.
I love that you said that out loud.
Yeah.
To God be the glory.
Yeah. I don't like bullshit.
Well, that's just some real shit. Yeah.
Shout out to you, young Mia.
At the store, at the airport today, when he see me, hey, what's up, Charleston? And as soon as I walk away,
AMC, appreciate you.
Leave off and hit that nigga in his mouth right now. Just be real, homie. Don't say don't even act. Yeah. So the fact that you can be real enough to say, hey, I felt this way at the beginning, and here I am now, homie. Yeah, that's why I keep coming back.
Yeah, honesty is the most important thing.
Yeah, that's why I keep coming back.
And I'm grateful to have you in the room, but don't bite my head off. I'm just being honest with you. All right? That's the image that went across a lot of people's minds. And you got the opportunities to jump in on podcasts, jump on interviews, jump on your own live to show a lot of people that you're a lot more clever than a lot of people had given you credit for. So they're sitting here thinking, oh, that something changed.
And I think all basketball, NFL, rap niggas are suckers. It ain't just, I just wasn't pertaining that to one guy. I think at some point all of them become suckers. And they forget what's really important. One of the realest things my mother told me one time, she said, son, the best gift you can give your children is to treat their mother right. And I've been treating their mother right ever since.
Like that.
Yeah. All right, yeah. Now's the techie moment. Again, if I'm trying to understand like people morals on this. If he's saying this, the stuff that he said, whether it's fake or real, and you're saying treat your mother right, me in a relationship, girlfriend, fiance, the husband and wife, and I say certain things, I couldn't look at myself or look at my wife or my partner with straight in the eye, like, look, yeah, I said this with my chest up, like, yo, just to get the bag, I told the world on a virtual scare that I'm an SA. I just couldn't do that. Like, I feel like it got to be other avenues. Yeah, I'm with you on this one, Aaron. Said, like, how does he explain it? Like, unless that person got to be gullible and greedy too, then y'all both is piece of crap. You both got to be piece of crap.
Maybe he's just talking about reality. I mean, I think the thing is, right, is that the reality is, and I want to make sure that people don't think I said that he never did any of the things, or he never participated in any of this. What I'm saying is, honestly, sadly, a lot of young men under the age of 21, especially when they're in late high school and early college, participate in exactly the behavior he described, right? And they still do not understand inherently how manipulative and therefore predatory the behavior is. So when he's describing it and then calling himself a sexual assaulter, or sorry, SAer, or right, he is literally actually educating. And as sad as that is to say, that when I was in school, right, when my sister was in school, probably still to this day, there are people who do not understand that no, that is actually a crime. If she wants to report you for doing it, it's a crime, right? This is why they made it a crime, and it's an unfair, biased one, where if the woman is drunk, then she can't consent, but it doesn't go the opposite way. And if the man's drunk, he can't consent, and so it's unfair. Yes, but the reason why they have to do things like this is because of how prevalent it is. It's so prevalent. So did he participate in that? Probably. A lot of young men did. And you know what? They had no idea that they were even doing something wrong. They had no idea. Now he's talking about 20 years ago. He's talking 20 years ago in his life. He's not talking about something he did yesterday. Even in the story, he's talking about 20 years ago.
I don't know what the F you talking. I'm sorry. There's not like he's doing it like I'm ashamed of this. This is my road to redemption. I did these things. I want people to know who I was in comparison to who I am. He says it as something that I just did. It just happened. It was whatever. There's no kind of like contrition or anything. He's like, that, just get it right. You know, he's not doing this as to educate people. There's no kind of altruistic reason to say to get on and say that you SA'd women when they got drunk. There's no reason to say that unless you're just saying
like his streams, not on other people's channels or his little clips, but his actual live stream. Have you ever watched that?
I don't. All I'm saying is, but I've heard the words that he said out of his mouth.
Thought so. Okay. Just checking.
Okay, so all right.
He explains these things pretty clearly.
So he
do
research
on people before you decide all about them. This is the problem with Brittany Renner.
I don't care. All I'm saying is, all I care. If you SA a woman, you're a piece of shit to me, and you are the scum of the earth, and you will never have redemption to me. I'm just sorry, and that's my right to do that. To view that, because I've seen that what happened to on firsthand. I've seen that what that's happened to a family, what that does to a person. There's women out there that watch him who may like be watching a show. He comes on there and says some stuff like that, and they get triggered because they haven't realized some things have happened to them in the past. And it happened. It happened. So what? There's many guys who do it. It's not a big okay. It's still a big deal. It's never okay. And it's never one of those things that you can actually find any kind of justification for. There's never a reason why you should be making a penny off of doing something like that. There's no reason that you should. So all I'm saying is just like
he agrees with you. That's the problem. He actually agrees with you.
All I'm saying is just like him bringing awareness to it by saying, by I want you to do this. What's called? This is a dude named Jay Prince. He did it. He tried to do an interview with him. And that subject came up. Watch his reaction to it. There was no, I'm a changed man. I did these things. I'm contrite. I'm feeling bad about it. He said, no. Get it right. I SA'd white women. Get it right. Don't get it wrong.
That's exactly what he said. Yeah.
But I'm just saying, it's just like, and it's maybe like I said, I'm cut from an old cloth. I'm old school. I'm 40 years old. Back when I don't know, the new generation is cool with this kind of shit or trying to find justification for it or can find them excuse it. The men I grew up with do not excuse it. And if he ever were to walk into a vicinity of any man that grew up with me, he would have a problem.
Maybe we just realize that all the men of you, because you're in my generation, right? So what he's realizing.
I'm not your generation. We come from a different cloth. We come from a different cloth.
You can say whatever you want, but that's not the point. The point is, at the end of the day, is maybe he realized the same thing that my generation realized, which is that all the guys like you who run that game and say, "Oh yeah, you couldn't test that around me. I would this and I would that." It didn't change the reality of how many girls were being essayed, how many girls were being put in those positions, how many guys were turning and looking the other way as it happened. Right. So at the end of the day, maybe the problem is that for all the people keep saying, I would never stand for that. I would never stand for that. It wasn't changing the rates of how many people, how many women, how many young women, how many young girls were experiencing it anyway.
So what is the point, Ruby, that joking about it and or saying that you actually did it, even if it's not true? Like, does that make it better? What's your
How many
point? I
people
don't.
are
that
now
helps.
saying?
That
How
helps.
many
That
people
helps
are
society.
now talking about
That helps
the fact
society.
that if you give
That brings
girls
attention to
some
it.
weed before you, and then afterwards get them to agree to sleep with you,
But what
that's
kind of
SA?
attention?
How many people are now agreeing that that's SA? Because I can
He's
tell you
doing
that
the Lord's
it's
work.
been a problem.
Bruh?
It's not about
Apparently.
him doing it. Listen, there are
That's the
different
that's the
demographics
worst
in this world.
excuse
You're
of
talking to
that's the.
different
I'm
demographics.
sorry, Ruby, but that's awful. That's just awful to say. Like what
Yeah.
he's doing is good because it's bringing attention. It's like that is.
No, I didn't say it was good. I just said it's not bad.
All
I
right,
said
that
Right.
is some twisted ass
it's just
backwards
true.
stuff.
Hey, man.
All right.
all
Not
right.
bad.
Is
It's
it
not
good to
bad.
shoot and kill people in the street? No, but rap music does it all the time. And yet we can tell that there are some rappers
Well,
who
no,
are
but-
actually teaching something through their music, even while they're telling you about a time they shot someone in the face, right? I'm just saying.
I'm gonna be
I
honest.
don't know. We can't see it.
Unless you're actually like again the words, the lyric makes sense. So I'm gonna leave it like that. But let me read some of the comments. Shout out to Friction Eviction. She says, hey Gray, I missed what Brittany did this time. What she don't do. Who is this talking about? We're talking about Charleston White, pretty much I ain't gonna say a known, but he pretty much said he proudly essayed some people, said it was chess. We're pretty much debating at the point like whether he faked it or admitting it. We still like 1, 2, 3. 90% of us saying that's still disgusting. Other percent is saying something else. Shout out to Cheryl. Appreciate you coming through.
Okay.
If you're new,
Yeah.
if you're new, hit the
I said sexual assault is fine. I never said
no,
sexual
no,
assault.
I apologize. I apologize. Cheryl says this is where you ran to Damien left. No,
Yeah, I was on another podcast.
It is what it is. It's not even that serious.
Yeah.
Did they at least promote you, Dane? Did they say your name right? You know, I don't know.
I put Damien. I reading is for a lot of people. Reading is not fundamental, so I just start putting Damien.
Okay. Miss Globe Girl says he may be educated, but he adds more message behind the education, which makes him disgusting. What else? Sincere says gross. All right, get back to the video. Oh, what's going on? CTRJ, apologize. Said I just joined, so I might have missed a lot, but this is a problem. Not that Charleston White did not denounce what he did. That's true. That's true. Shout out to mine. So Sandra, I apologize. I'm screwing up every names. If Charleston White does have kids, he's getting a terrible example of the father. That's pretty much my point. That's my whole point. Like I get it if his reality, not reality. Either way, you stick your toe on both sides is wrong, disgusting. And what example are you setting as a man, as a father, or just for everybody outside with the media? Because every time I see stuff like this, I'm like, well, just for him an example, screw Brittany Renner right now, but just him an example when it comes to media, it feel like everybody is literally for the rah-rah. You know, I was even on a whole nother panel, and then shout out to Brittany B. She's like, oh well, you want to self-plug your platform. I'm like, they're not coming. I just know where I'm at.
It's easy to be altruistic when the statute of limitations has expired. If he knew he could still go to jail, would he still be so, oh, this happens, and I need to educate women on people in society on this happens. If he can still get arrested for it, I'm willing to bet he would be.
Maybe depends on how.
Same thing with Cardi B and everyone else who talks about their damn crimes, except for the new school people who are.
Well, he can if he's really contrite for it. Like, for example, what was that rapper that used to be with P. Diddy? He went and said, I shot somebody. I need to go to jail. And he went to jail for like 10 years, and now he's out.
Good for him.
That's it. People who are really contrite, they try to make things right somehow. He's not trying; he's just exploiting the situation.
The only way to make things right is to go to jail for it. I don't know.
That's the way
I don't
society
think everyone would agree that they would send themselves to jail for a mistake that they made in their lives or bad decisions they were making in their lives 25 years ago. I'm not 100% sure everyone would do that.
Mistake. Wow.
I literally said mistake or bad decisions, but you were so busy talking over me that you didn't hear that I said that all together in the same sentence.
Okay.
Because I'm not just talking about Charleston White. I was talking about other people, and I was saying again that
but we're talking about Charleston White is on the screen right now.
Majority of people who would not send themselves to prison on purpose for something that they did 20 to 25 years ago, no matter how contrite and no matter how bad they felt about it. Oh yes, that's of course what it is. I don't want to spend the rest of my life in prison because I don't feel bad about the crime that I committed. Yes.
You don't think you deserve any kind of punishment for it?
Oh God. Okay.
It's
All right, we're gonna get back.
this classic. Like, it doesn't matter. Two wrongs don't make a right. I don't understand this argument of yours, Ruby. Like I don't
either. No.
I don't. But that's just because no one looked any further. No one ever does, right? It's
okay.
Whatever you know on the surface, what you know on the surface, and who cares?
You can look.
Who cares about what he's
you can look as
saying
far
on his actual
into
live streams, on his
SAers
actual
as you
things?
want
Who cares? Because you heard him
Feel
once
free
on
to
some
look
other
as
live stream say
you
something else.
can have
Who cares?
all the insight into SAers that you want. Look deep into it. Get into the marrow.
He does it on purpose. But who cares?
Get deep into the marrow of an SAer's
Not the
DNA.
marrow.
Yes, of course.
Get into the marrow of an SA DNA. Get deep, as deep as you want to. That's all you. That's for you.
All right,
you
time
can
out.
have
Time
that.
out. Time out. Wes, do you have anything before I click play?
This dude sounds like Scum.
What was Mace?
All right, fair enough. We're trying to get you to the twerking. Try to get you to twerking, sir. We're gonna get you there.
I got a bedtime.
Yeah, I'm saying, I've always desired to have daddy, but mother's instructions always seem to be right, to make sense in your spirit and in your conscience. So I try to, my mother's voice rings loud in my head when I'm thinking about right or wrong.
I'll be honest with you, and I just had this conversation probably 3 times in the last week. People that I actually hate the most in my life are people that I see openly disrespect their mothers. I feel like if you could openly disrespect your mother,
you'll fuck me over.
Yeah, anything.
What, you'll fuck me
and
over?
There's a lot of people don't understand that there's a lot of we're all figuring life out at once, right? A lot of people judge their parents in hopes that or with the idea they should have it figured out. They're making mistakes. We all make mistakes. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of people judge their parents on stuff like that. The conversation I had more recently was about that. Like, oh, well, my mother isn't perfect. And
I sent you a video last week talking
Yeah.
to some kids, and they were predominantly white kids I was talking to at a juvenile facility. And one of the things that I tell children is you have to forgive your parent for what you think they did or didn't do, because if nothing else, they gave you life. If for nothing else, they put you on stage to perform at the minimum. So
and it's the only tie in life that you can't cut, right? Like you could pretend to, you could get divorced, you could separate, you could get rid of a friend, but you can't get rid of your mom. It's still your mom.
Dad,
you can't get rid of your dad. It's still your dad. Yeah,
Yeah,
no.
your dad,
And
your
I'm
dad.
somebody that I pride myself. I want to be the world's greatest dad. Whether they give a title for it or not, I don't really give a goddamn. You know what I mean? But my son is the most important thing.
Yeah, this
to
nigga
me
don't
in
even
this
answer the phone when the baby's sleeping.
world.
So
Yeah. Earlier he tried calling me. I'm like, no.
I look at
Hey,
babies
GP, can we
and
get to the
movies.
Brittany Renner twerking shit?
Sure, I got you, man. Yeah, nobody want to see him no more.
talking about good dads and stuff. Wes gotta go. It's like I would need some ass and jiggling.
I'm trying to get to the marrow. Hey, Dave, I was trying. My bad, Dave. I'm trying to get to the bone marrow. I was trying to get to the bone marrow.
To the marrow.
Yeah.
To 19 minutes, I was cackling at the airport. You were talking about white people. You were talking about RAPE.
Yeah.
You were talking about
Killing white people. Yeah, a whole bunch of
You
shit.
said it.
Yeah.
Not me.
Yeah.
So how are you gonna say you're not towards white people when you
Oh.
literally were just saying that on live?
But I didn't mean none of it. I was in character. Responding to 3 black people.
Wait,
Responding
how
to
you gonna say
because
you're in character?
hold on.
That's you.
Because if you listen to what I said out of all this shit been going on this weekend, not one hip hop station, not one person have mentioned those 3 black people who have been killed by this white hateful person.
So let's take that moment right now. Prayers to Jacksonville for what they're going through. Because that is terrible.
So I'm saying y'all giving me all this attention, but now let me say this because they promote our killing. They promote black hate, but they want to say there's no room for hate in America. Well, rap music is more hateful toward killing black people. So that's the message I was making. So let me say kill. So that's why I was saying that. That's why. No matter what you think about it, nobody has spoke on that white boy killing those 3 black people. So I'm going to go to the extreme because I actually served time for killing the white man.
I heard.
Stood over him and watched him die.
I love that for you.
Yeah, but just listen, but just listen to me.
Larry just looked at Brittany and said, "What?"
But just last week, but just 2 weeks ago, I was at an all-white facility talking to white kids. Right.
But my thing is here's the thing, because I listened to you 15 to 20 minutes, like I got your psyche. You talking about raping white bitches, raping Asian bitches so they love it.
Yeah, Jews too. Yeah,
any woman.
They put it in rap, except black women. I never said black women.
You did,
No,
and I'll say that.
But because guess what? They promote it in black music.
So as a woman,
I'm looking at rape. I'm looking at kidnap. And when the bitches get through, we go be for the hot caps.
So as a daughter, so having a fucking daughter,
yeah,
you think regardless of their shade, you think that's okay?
Yeah, I really do.
Okay, well,
but this is something that he spoke on earlier.
Hey, here's the thing. I get it. I listened to his live. I really enjoyed it. I thought it was humorous. I a few times when I was watching it.
But I was
at the
serious.
end who was this?
I was.
That's fine. You were dead serious. Yeah. But I'm letting you know, regardless of their shade, that you bringing it back on your daughter.
Not in my world. Because if that was true, if that was true, if that was true, everything that I said, white people would be getting. If that was true, when do white people get theirs? When do white people get theirs? Then they rape, they kill.
I ain't gonna lie. Now, Brittany just earned cool points for me now. She pretty much saying what I was thinking. Like,
yeah,
she earned.
You know, my view has totally changed. He's really
cool
doing
points.
the Lord's. He's doing the Lord's work.
Hallelujah.
He's trying
never
to
said he
bring
was, nor do you have to be. It's not either you're doing the Lord's work or you're the fucking demon.
He's bringing attention to the plight of Black people. He said, "I'm going to grape the world into knowing that about the atrocities that happen to Black people. I'm going to do all this stuff to all these other people so people can recognize that Black women are going through some things and doing some things. And I'm happy to do it. I'm happy to be the guy I will sacrifice my penis in what's good for the struggle."
I finally understand your struggle.
Now you get it. Now you get it. Thank you. No. Thank Charleston White. Thank Charleston.
Oh, my bad.
I'll send him I'll ask for his autograph. I'll send him a fan letter for.
That's wild. All right.
Possible to believe.
I'm gonna ask some dope shit. I've been back and forth. Relationships aren't easy. I've been back and forth with my girl. You know, there's the breakups, the good moments, the bad moments, and everything. Yeah. But the one thing that remains, no matter what, is I'm her cheerleader.
You're her what?
I'm her cheerleader. Like no matter what, I want her to do amazing things in life, right? Like a lot of people when they fuck up relationships or whatever happens in relationships, people don't want them to succeed. PJ just got an amazing contract. How does that make you feel as a woman knowing that's your baby father?
Here's what it changes.
Honestly, I want my child's father to win.
Exactly.
It's just what it is. And regardless of what people say, I believe he deserves whatever he feels he's worthy of. So, whatever that contract looks like, that's what it looks like. And I didn't have a child. You know, I had a second degree tear. You know what that looks like?
Pause it.
Hello? Is everybody fucking listening? Hello?
Can you pause it real quick, TP?
Yeah. I ain't gonna lie, I Googled it. I ain't gonna lie, when she said that,
cool.
I actually Googled that, and I was like, what exactly a second degree is? It don't look pretty. But go ahead.
All right, hold on. You see what happened there? You see where a whole dynamic changed, where he was using that to incite her. He said, you know, the question was, oh, your baby dad just got this huge contract. How do you feel about that? The sentiment was, after he dumped your ass, he got $50 million for 3 years. How do you feel about that? Don't you feel stupid? That's what was happening right there. That's what the sentiment about that he was saying was, and he tried to hide it behind. How do you feel about the fact that he gets a contract? Why would she give a shit about how much her baby daddy is getting as long as he's consistently paying the child support? Why would you care? Why does you need to know how she feels about that? So this is when it all went left, and this is where she got uncomfortable and tried to regain control of the situation. The only way how is through sexuality.
All right, I'm with you so far on that one, right? But now here's the part where I come into the mental part of it. And if she's so good and she's so happy about her father winning, that the energy she should have kept before she just started grabbing.
She's not, and he knew she wasn't. She's not, because you know why? And I'm gonna tell you this, and this is gonna sound real basic. She ain't got a man yet. He's with another woman, had another kid with another woman that he's engaged to, and got this tremendous check. The life this other woman has, she thought she would have, and it's the life that he promised her she would have. So of course she's not happy about it, and he is trying to use her and try to get her in her feelings about it for content, and he is a piece of shit as well.
Right.
Fair enough.
Wait,
Wes,
can you
your
believe
thought?
that she's a real person? Because if you can believe that all of the stuff that they've been saying about her and making her into a villain, not true. She's actually a young woman. Yeah, she's 7 years older than PJ. But you know what? She fell in love with him. She was the supportive, devoted girlfriend. She didn't only know him for like a week and got pregnant. That's not how that worked out at all. And despite what his management was saying and he told her, listen, I got you, devoted to you. I'm going to marry you. We're going to do this. I got you. your disappointments are over. And then obviously she said, okay, I'm going to ruin, my money maker, shall we say, or my man getter, my womb's, purity for you, right? As she said, it ripped her. Okay. There's not like fixing that unless you pay a lot of money for plastic surgery. Even then, it's just never going to be the same. It's never going to be the same. But she was okay with all of that. She loved this man, and it didn't work out. Then she was, put through hellfire damnation everywhere she went. Her whole reputation, everything for years, right, online. But her feelings, because she's a real person, she never got to mourn. She never got to, just be treated like someone who went through a devastating breakup. And now the family she thought she was going to make with her child and her child's father is gone. She never got treated like that. So she was constantly never ending either trying to embrace being a villain, right? Or just trying to defend herself, constantly, never endingly.
I think
she's not done. She's not done. If you can believe she's a real person, like forget she's all the multi-millions. Just think of normal people, right? This is how normal people would. Of course, they're not happy. They're not happy for you till they're happy for themselves, right? Until she's got a man, she's got her own this and that, and vice versa. Men do the same thing, right? Like once she has her stuff together, she could be happy for PJ. Till then,
the worst thing you give to the worst thing you give to a person who has little hope is hope, because if you take it away, it's twice as devastating. Because he basically said, I don't care about your past. I don't care about what you did. I'm going to look past that. I'm going to build this life for you. Every good thing that's going to happen to me is going to happen to you. Mm-hmm. And all you got to do is just be with me. And she agreed. She said, I'm there with you. I give up all that stuff. And he's like, and then he couldn't hold up his end of the bargain and put it out there like, well, you can still have this if you sacrifice the things that you want. Fidelity, honesty. If you can sacrifice those things, you can still have all this stuff. But just knowing I'm gonna be, there may be a side baby or two. There may be another chick calling you saying I slept with your husband last week, and you're just gonna have to push that to the side like a lot of the players' wives do. And she said that's not for me. And he was like, all right, I'm out. And now he's with a woman who's probably made that agreement.
All right, hold up. Wes,
took that deal.
Wes actually
Sorry,
have
Wes.
any thoughts?
Yeah. So how did they get broken up?
She found all kinds of stuff with him cheating on her and caught him cheating a bunch of times.
Mm-hmm. And gave him chance after chance. He made promise after promise, and then still cheated.
Wow. Well, if the two of you are agreeing on that, it must be right.
Shout out to Viction. She says, how long were they together before she got pregnant? Do y'all Dame
like a year? They were like a year.
They were like a year, almost a couple years, I think.
Yeah,
well, before she got like a year before she got pregnant, right? And then
and then they had the baby, and then they were together for like 3 months after that, and then they were broke up.
Right.
All right, fair enough. Shout out to Sincere. Go ahead, Wes. My bad.
She's bitter and angry and doesn't want to deal with it.
Correct.
Doesn't like herself very much. She
not
feels like
she's not facing anything.
Well, people ain't letting her get over it because people not letting her get over it because they go to these shows and they throw it in their face again.
Yeah, but you know what?
You don't have to go to these shows.
Yeah, exactly. And I think that's a cop out too.
She can retire from social life altogether. Just raise her son, and raise her kid, and doesn't have to. I mean, there's plenty of people that don't know much about her.
She could be an account executive for a software firm all day, but that's her. This is where her accountability comes in. She feels like she has a voice that needs to be heard, and she feels like she needs to do it on a public platform. That's why she still does these things. That's why she still.
I'm gonna be honest. The message that it's like, to me, I get what you're saying. At that point, like I'm with the West on this one, but at that point, it's like two splits of a message I hear from her. It's either one message is like West said, the whole the burger whatever commercial. It's okay to be a 304 whatever, go for it. Mm-hmm. There's the other message because I've seen a lot of her videos on Instagram where she's like very motivational, very inspiring messages, and that's another side I'll see. But I'm like, you got to pick one. You just can't say F it and just let me just quote unquote be the villain because you keep going that route. You keep showing like she keeps showing too much of her real self that I'm not seeing any healing. I'm not seeing anything. Let me read this real quick. Shout out to Sincere. Sincere says women need to stop trying to be in competition with their exes. I 100% agree. heal first, then move on. Exactly. According to everybody else on the panel, she's not having the time out to heal. I agree with that, but I would say this: she needs to make a break from reality. And I'm doing the air quotes, and just take the time out to seek some kind of professional help, some kind of therapy, and take it from there. Shout out to Fiction. Friction Fix said, "Who the F are they?" She's a Instagram person that got, or back in the day, she was dated, married, courted. The guy
was engaged, yeah.
Engaged. So she didn't marry him.
She didn't marry him. They got married.
Yeah, to what? PJ Washington. She caught him cheating. You know how y'all women do. Y'all like the FBI. Y'all found stuff in the phones and the emails and the Rolodex. Y'all even got a spy camera somewhere. Like, yo, I saw you at 34th Street and the camera light at the light, and I saw you with that chick. You hold hands. Y'all know how y'all women do. So y'all see stuff that we don't see. So she caught him cheating. She said she took him, gave him many chances. It didn't work out, so they broke up. So now she's a little bit hurt, and that's where we went from that. Shout out to Lady Nova. Appreciate, Vixen. NBA wives, but not even wives. She didn't get that championship ring yet. So shout out to Lady Navoa. And yeah, that's it. We'll get to the video. We're trying to get West to the twerking.
You know what that looks like?
I mean, that boy was that big when you had him.
He was, I think it was 8.1.5.
That means she had a big baby.
Almost 9 pounds, right?
Another NBA player.
Does that matter to you? Does that matter to you? Who had such a motherfucking opinion about me?
Wait,
Does that matter?
Group.
Hold on.
Opinion change.
Hold on. Answer the motherfucking question.
No, it didn't initially. No, hell.
Okay, I had a second-degree tear. That means they sewed me up.
Yeah, okay.
Right. You know what that means? That means I love that motherfucker. My pussy was fucking split open for him. Right. You understand that? You lost 9.
I'm gonna be honest. I don't care that baby was like 50-pound baby that came up and just ripped your whole booty cheeks open. That doesn't mean anything. Like, that doesn't prove the love between you and two. Just shout out to nature. Shout out to nature.
Pounds. Okay.
Gratefully, I had a 5-pound baby.
Good for you.
Yeah,
My baby was almost 9 pounds.
Big boy.
Okay.
Yeah.
And that's just what it is. All right.
I'm sorry, but I disagree a little.
A lot of people do.
What's important?
Do you disagree? Let's go.
I just have to tell you, and I'll tell you why. Because before you give birth, approximately how big your baby is. You also know, unless you just you're in one of those I didn't know I was pregnant scenarios or whatever, but you also know about all the different things, including episiotomies, your chance of ripping, so on and so forth, based on different things like the size of the baby. And so you would know that your baby's like 8-9 pounds before you get to pushing. And I don't mean that day. I mean, because you're getting checked at least once a week, sometimes daily, depending on how far you got along in your pregnancy. The fact that if you would want to go natural and push it out of you because it's better for the baby, knowing that it's 8-9 pounds, you're signing up to get torn from one hole to the next and da-da-da-da-da. So to me, that does show a level of how much you love the baby that you've never met yet, and obviously love the father that's, in this family that you're trying to build. You love them all. You're committed to them all. You're committed enough that it's going to tear you from one hole to the other, but it's all right because this is your love. This is where you belong. So you cool. Because she could have chosen to have a C-section, and honestly, she would have had less tearing. That's all I'm saying. She wouldn't have had that tearing down there. And I'm just saying,
I ain't gonna lie, low key, I want to argue with you about this, but I'm trying to get West to the it's like you take your homeboy West who never went to a strip club one time, so you want to give him that lap dance. So I'm trying to take West to that club real quick so he can get that free drink.
Let's go.
That you do wish well for.
Most.
Here's the thing. Let me just tell you, you and every one of the motherfuckers that are commenting, she's doing too much. She at the end of the day, this pussy had a 2nd-degree tear. Do you know what that means?
You just thought us.
Ripped.
What is it?
Ripped.
Thank you, Charleston.
Ripped open.
Ripped.
Wait a minute.
Yeah, boy had a head like his daddy.
Damn.
Yeah. Well, your boy had a head like his daddy.
All right.
Hold on.
So a ripped fucking vagina. Hold on.
Say it again. For the people in the back.
Let me tell you something. 50 pounds. Do you hear what I'm saying?
That boy born 50 pounds?
No,
I gained 50 pounds.
Oh, shit.
Charleston, 50 pounds. That's just somebody I'm just whatever. It's about money. Let me tell you something. I can't be bought.
Hello.
That's what all these people in the chat can't seem to understand. They think I can be bought. They think that it's just about money. It's just whatever. It's the highest bidder. I believe in true love.
Let's do this. Let's do this. Out of all the things we've seen Brittany Renner done, shout out to the commercial that she did. She's on Kevin Samuels' interview. Shout out to the past group we reacted to where she had a 2-on-1 interview / debate with Fresh and Fit with academics, was moderating it. She's been on plenty of platforms. She was on Pearly Things with Andrew Tate, which I think that's the most dumbest thing ever, because a guy is polite and courteous on the platform. Y'all think y'all friends? You're not friends. So according to her, she's saying she can't be bought. So what say ye, chat? And we'll get to the panel. Chat, do you think Brittany Renner can be bought from all the things we see currently on this video and currently from her past experiences? Can she be bought? Yes or no? Can Brittany Renner be bought? Wes, we'll let you go first.
Yes.
All right.
I think she's regretting it now, but yes.
Miss Ashely, from everything you've seen and heard, because I know you didn't know too much, can Brittany Renner be bought?
I think that everybody has a price, but sorry, I'm going to I haven't spoken much, but I will say this. Not knowing much about Brittany Renner, and when I first saw this interview, I felt really I felt really bad for her. Honestly, I felt bad for her. This is what I saw, and maybe it's self-projection, but I saw a hurt woman. I saw a woman who needs healing. I saw a woman who has had her heart broken, and I don't care what anybody says, like, especially if you are choosing to be in the public eye, like, just the little tiny bit that I'm on YouTube, all the hate that I get, all the comments, people thinking they know my life, talking about what a bad mom I am, what a bad wife I must have been. I just felt pain and sorrow, and I just felt like it was very uncomfortable to watch, and I felt concerned for her, and I felt that's all I can say. I say anybody has a price. Obviously, she's choosing to be in the public life, right? I mean, I read here she gets like 50 grand per like appearance and shit like this. So like, yeah, everybody's got a price. Everybody's got a price, but like, I don't know. I just think that it's easy to throw stones when you live in a glass house, right?
Fair enough. Dane?
Yeah, there's been a price of her self-worth for a long time, and many people have paid it. She can absolutely be bought, and I think she doesn't know, like I said, that she needs to really like get in tune with who she is and what she really wants out of life, because there's a price. She can absolutely 100% be bought.
Fair enough. Ruby, can she be bought?
No, and I would say now, when we're talking about bought, to be clear, I don't mean as a job, right? The way that you earn an income from modeling or whatever it is that you're doing over there, right? Everyone obviously can be bought in that way. I mean, anyone who works and brings in some form of income has been purchased in a way by that metric. So I'm talking about in relationships specifically. Do I think she can be bought in a relationship? No. If she could, she'd still be with BJ. Because the metrics were very simple. Either you're going to get a few $1,000s a month for child support, and you're going to have your body all stretched out and this now whatever, or you're going to live that multi-million-dollar lifestyle and go to all these events as the baller's wife and whatever, but he's going to cheat on you, right? Because the high value men always cheat and step out and whatever. And she has never been willing to accept that, no matter what type of lifestyle these guys are willing to provide her, no matter how much money people are willing to pay her for certain things and whatever. She's never been willing to, forfeit the things that are important to her, like actual love, fidelity, respect, honesty, integrity in relationships. So I'm going to say no.
All right, fair enough. Miss Globe Girl said, I see no evidence that she can be bought. That's very interesting.
I have a quick caveat. I'm sorry to mine. Also, though, like, I get what you're saying, Ruby, too. Yeah, like, I mean, social media and, appearances and things, that's her job. But at the same time, if this is the way you behave on the work site, perhaps you need to rethink your career, at least take a little bit of a hiatus. And if you're accepting high amounts of money, knowing that you're not in a mental state to perform or to be that person that you want to project to the world, that you want people to see you as, then that kind of in and of itself is being bought.
Yeah, I agree with what Ruby said about the relationship thing. I was just talking about as far as her self-worth, as far as not necessarily like as far as she is willing, like I think somebody just said, she can be degraded. She can allow herself to be made to be the villain and exploited. She can in that frame. But I think ultimately in relationship, she has a standard that she tries to keep. But you know, it's who knows? Time will tell if she decides, you know what, I'll make that deal with the next NBA player who wants to get a little side stuff once in a blue moon. If I can, you know, I don't know.
Fair enough. Shout out to CGOJ. She says, which is why she needs to date a regular guy. You know what, CGOJ? She actually said it was offered. That same suggestion was brought to her by Fresh and Fit. And then after that, she said she likes what she likes. She wants what she wants. So I'm inclined to believe like either she still got a emotional arm reach out for her baby father, and she just wants the same caliber of guy that she wants. That's what I'm inclined to believe. So
I think she wants a guy who could.
When she said she likes what she likes.
The athlete, everything what PJ was, the athlete, somebody can kind of take care of all the bills. Somebody can just, you know, and pretty much be a father. Because if she didn't have the baby, I think it was that be the connection. But the fact she has the baby, she just have like this kind of still lingering feeling and all the hurt connected to him, and the baby just add more fuel to the fire. Even though she still love the kid, but it's still a caveat.
Yeah, I don't think because she could probably, there's a rich guy who would marry her all day and like give her all his money tomorrow if she wanted. I think she likes being associated with status. She likes being in proximity to status. So I think she can use that status to kind of create her own lane branch off of their person's status. Because I'm sure there's been a multitude of rich guys who've probably reached out to her who could have been like, you can do whatever you want. I'll finance the whole situation. I just need you to come home and twerk on me once in a while. You know, come on, twerk on me every night or what have you. So I think it's proximity to status so that she can use as a springboard to something, her own shit that she's more attracted to necessarily. I don't think it's just a money thing with her.
Yeah, I don't think it's just a money thing. I don't.
Okay. There's a good question here that Sincere said. She says, per her taking this interview, what do you think her standards is? Bro,
Well,
I don't even know.
One of the ways they convinced her to do the interview, though, was specifically because Charleston White was going to be on the interview because she likes Charleston White. So she finds him very
or maybe the clout.
attractive. No. I'm telling you, like, it's literally, this is one of the things that happens.
Yeah.
I mean, we skipped through some of it, but she talks about it and they talk about it. The guy brings it up that like, she's really attracted to Charleston White and like, she's really into him kind of thing. And she's wanted a chance or an opportunity, I guess, you know, to connect with him. So they use that as a way to convince her, hey, well, he's going to be here. So maybe can we get you now? So yeah,
I think she's attracted to the personality type, the kind of like, I don't give a fuck. I say what I want. I'm not bound to societal rules and norms and stuff like that. I think that's the personality she like. Cause she just came on and she started off talking about Andrew Tate is amazing. Now she's saying Charleston White. I think she envies being able to do that without the repercussions that she's getting for trying to do the same thing. I think she is more of like I'm attracted to that because I want to be that. But I get all this hate because I'm a woman, and I get all this vitriol because of if I try to do the same thing, and you guys get away with it. I think it's more of a I love you because I want to be you kind of situation.
That's a fact too. Women don't get away with it the same way.
Yep. All right, back to the video.
Hello. I heard her say that. But
I said it 100 fucking times. Hello.
Hey, listen,
This is what I fucking say. Shut the fuck up when a real bitch is talking.
Okay.
Shut up.
Okay.
Shut the fuck up.
Take the room.
Shut up. Shut the fuck up.
Yes, ma'am.
I ain't gonna lie. This is like Ashley when she goes into Hulk mode, but that's a whole nother conversation.
Yeah. And just look at these
This is
cake
real
ass
fucking bitch. You know what I'm saying?
dudes.
And I
All
care.
they're doing is
And I'm a
counting the
hopeful
views.
romantic. But I can't control. At the end of the day,
What'd you say?
I said, look at all these cake ass dudes. All they doing is counting the views. This woman is taking over their whole platform. They didn't try to bring it back. They didn't try to be like, oh, hold up now. You're not what's called it. We need you to calm down. We need you to let's stop for a minute. Let's you get your shit together, and we're gonna have an interview. They didn't try to do none of that. They just sat back there and said, oh my God, this is gonna be, and it exactly what happened. It's gonna be on everybody's platform.
Facts.
So let me just watch. Let's watch the dance monkey dance. That's what it was.
The same way watching this the first time. I was like, they knew what the hell they were doing. Like somebody should have. I know everybody's accountability again, but at the same time, accountability for the grown ass men sitting around her. Like this is somebody who's obviously inebriated at this moment. I mean, I'm sorry. I think she was drunk or high. I don't know what's going on. She was
high or
she
both.
was not acting rationally. And it's a room full of grown ass men just sitting around watching it happen. And
She had a drink when they started.
Capitalizing.
Yeah. She was definitely drinking for it.
She was pretty sober at the beginning, though, comparatively. Like, and that's why I pointed out right when we first started, because I'm like, to see the way she was speaking, listen to her, the lack of slur, the lack of the aggression. Like,
I agree.
This is a different person now, almost. You know, like she's wasted.
Hey,
and you think they weren't feeding her that liquor? You think they weren't feeding it to her? Yeah,
of course they were. Of course.
Yeah. But see, this is for the future content creators out there that be doing all these complainings about these toxic and negative panels. When people allow things to happen, this is the outcome you get. So again, we can say, hey, it's her fault. That's true. She has her accountability, and the other in the fence have theirs too.
But it doesn't matter if you're taking advantage of a vulnerable person. Yes. That's why I'm saying accountability on both ends.
Yep.
That room full of grown ass men needs accountability too. Like I agree that they're taking advantage of a broken woman right now. Like, and it's that's why I said it made me uncomfortable to watch it. Like I almost cried. I just felt so bad, and I was like, this poor lady. Like, yeah, I know, but like, come on.
It's uncomfortable.
Everybody about them clicks and views. Let's get the screaming, shouting, and fighting. Let's go.
Where's the humanity?
I try to force something that
exactly
wasn't mine. That wasn't my person, and that's okay. You sitting over there, motherfucking. Shut the fuck up.
Oh shit!
Shut up! Shut the fuck up when I'm talking.
That's peripheral.
Shut up! Seriously, shut the fuck up when I'm talking. Because if you ever felt real love to where you have a motherfucking second-degree tear, hello?
You didn't mean it.
Hello?
You didn't mean it.
Shit. Hello? You don't know what it's fucking like.
Oh shit!
I'm sorry. I meant to hit this nigga.
Wrong guy.
Let me tell you something.
Wrong guy,
Shut the fuck up. This right here is about to go. Let me tell you something.
We good.
Shut up. I'm fucking talking. Yo, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to hit you. I meant to hit that nigga. Because you sitting over here laughing.
Does anyone think?
I ain't chilling.
Relax.
Very good. What happened?
She's not. There's no way in hell she's going to look back on this, even probably the next day, let alone a year from now, and feel good about this. Like, this is so embarrassing. I feel embarrassed for her. It sucks.
The internet.
Look at the dudes. The dudes is sitting there cheesing. Charleston cheesing. The two hosts are cheesing.
It's like I almost feel their thoughts being like, "Oh, you wanted to play with the big boys, huh? Well, we're gonna here. Let's play. Let's play."
They're counting the money. They're counting the money right now.
They've been trying her the whole entire thing, thinking, "Oh my God, it's not gonna work. It's not gonna work."
Pushing
and then
the
that's
buttons.
the moment they're like, "Oh shoot, it worked, y'all."
Refill her glass. Refill her glass. Keep saying bigger words.
Because somebody who really wanted to really get to know her and get her perspective would have stopped the whole shit as soon as she threw that first bottle. As soon as she started like yelling in the ring, somebody would stop the whole thing and be like, "Okay, we need to reset this thing, and we need to do it right now because I need you to get your mind right, and we're gonna do this the right way."
Hand to God, I would not have sat in that room and not done or said something to intervene, or I would hand to God.
Fair enough.
Disrespecting me for it. I'm just trying to make peace in the room. That's all.
We don't need you to make peace. At the end of the day,
we do need me to make peace because I do want it to be a civil conversation, a good conversation.
Listen, be quiet. Be quiet.
But you're telling me to be quiet like I'm some little boy.
At the end of the
And
day,
you do
I'm
it.
talking to him.
I understand that.
And
I'm trying
you
to
do
make
it.
sure that everything is good. This ain't
All
working.
is truly well.
It is.
All is truly well. So I'm good. But at the end of the day,
Give me with a bottle of water, right? I felt like that was crazy to do that, my boy.
Appreciate you, Champ. Appreciate you, Champ.
Good looking out.
Charleston is the one who's in charge.
I feel like I'm
saying it's good. It's all good.
I ain't talking to you.
I understand that, but I'm saying it's all good.
Yeah, we have. Yeah.
That's it.
Go ahead. Do you think?
Make love, peace, and war.
You know what?
Gotcha.
Do you know who that dude was who got hit with the bottle?
No.
Shannon Briggs, the former heavyweight champion of the fucking world, hit with a bottle.
Bro.
She threw a bottle at Shannon Briggs.
She was flirting with him.
Look at those cheese and ass
That's
smiles.
a flirt.
Look at those cheese and ass smiles. Like,
I mean, that should tell you something right there, that the situation, because they could have realized, oh my God, she done just hit the former heavyweight champion with a bottle. This could go left. Let me take the temperature of the room to make sure everybody's good. Let's slow this thing way the F down.
well,
They
somebody
couldn't even do that.
in chat said like she should know, or she knows or should know the podcast rules by now.
It
People
doesn't-
don't take into account. This is a human being who is
Yeah.
going through some things. Yes, we know the rules, but like, so that's what I said. Like, I don't know. She needs a better PR person because she should not have been. She should have had somebody looking out for her on this one.
Yeah, I think she went there solo dolo. I think that's
Yeah, I
pretty
don't
much
think
what
she has
happened.
PR. Sadly, I don't think she has management or PR.
I think
Like,
she does have a manager, because I mean, when she went on Anton Daniels, he had to go through her manager.
oh, okay. So
Yeah, but
she
what
has
a
a
PR?
manager,
What about
have anything
yeah,
else.
yeah? But she can get PR person though. You know,
She
I don't
legit
care
needed
about
somebody there with her, having her back. That's
Yeah.
But the manager was probably thinking, this is going to go all over the world. Her name's
she
going to ring
ganged
out
up
all
on.
over
Like,
again.
that's like 5v1 right now. Like, I mean, it's. Ugh.
Yeah, but
Yeah, the
her
manager-
manager wouldn't think to themselves that her doing this would be positive for her, because it actually isn't positive for anything that she's doing in life. It's not positive for her acting career. It's not positive for the new track she's been on for years now, trying to actually give, a more positive spin, a more positive message, whatever. This is not something that would be good for her. It's a lot of great cannon fodder for the manosphere and for anti-women channels, but it's not good for Brittany. So,
Well, that too, and you know what they say. Like, you could do 100 things right, 100 things right, and you do one thing wrong, and they're gonna remember you for what you did wrong. And that's unfortunate, because this is her image, and that's what hurts my heart when I watched this the first time. I didn't even know this chick, and I'm like, this is her image now, and she sounds like a well-spoken, intelligent woman, like, who had her heart broken and who recently had a baby. Like, I feel all the feels for her.
It still shows, because even when she was on, it's that hurt actually shows all the time. Because even when she was on with Pearly Things and Andrew Tate and them, and the conversation, the one-on-one with her and Pearl had, it showed in her face. Same thing Karen said, it showed in her face. She still haven't got over it.
There's no way she can't be hurting. No.
And she's been judged and taken down, like, for so many things. Like, she's gone through real things in her life, like bad things, right? And then she's had men leave her for those reasons. She's had men leave her for having PTSD reactions to things. She's had men leave her for anxiety. So I mean, like, she's had a lot of really bad experiences, and then, like, I don't think anyone ever encouraged her to do something about what's going on. Like, hey, you might be like,
She seriously, she just recently, I think it was last year, her best friend SA'd her while she was sleeping. So I mean, it was just one of those things where it's just like she needs help, and people can see, but the more about that is she's desperate, not for maybe for money, maybe for the spotlight. And
okay, I did
easily take advantage of.
I did a quick Google search, like, earlier when y'all were talking. I was being kind of quiet because, like, and just from what I read on, like, her celebrity wiki page, she wasn't raised by her parents. Her dad was an alcoholic who didn't stick around during her life. Her mom dipped out when she was like 13, 14. She was raised by her grandma. Like, this is definitely a broken person. Like, and we're people. Like, people are people. Like, Jesus.
I'm with CJJ in the comment section when she said she just needs to either just take a step back from that reality and just revisit and learn herself. Even more so, the fact she got a kid, like, that's still, when it comes to kids, I don't play that. The fact that she brought another life in the world, and every way you acting, whether it's camera, believe, make believe, you are putting a strong negative influence on your child. Like, see, this is what us adults do, and that's not 100% true.
Just because you have a kid, it doesn't make you stop being a person and an individual yourself. And that's something that I've struggled with being on YouTube over the last year. Again, I'm a freaking nobody. I get it. But like, still, just a little taste of it that I get. It's like, what are you doing on YouTube at 2 a.m.? What are you doing? Like, you're a horrible mother. I don't stop being a freaking person. I don't stop. I'm not, and I didn't just stop being an individual with like, I'm the same person. I'm the same person. And it's such a delicate balance. And like, again, he who was without sin, throw the first stone. Like, I don't know, man.
Like, you're an actual person. That's what people forget, especially about women, because unless you're a woman on something like YouTube or in like media in this level, you can't really fathom the way women are treated and what happens when you guys aren't there in our email accounts, in the, you know, in the back chats, whatever, the kinds of ways that we are attacked, the threats that are made against us, whatever, how much people think it's okay to run propaganda campaigns against you just using your name. It doesn't matter that it's not true. And it doesn't matter. Everyone will just believe it because you're a woman. So it's okay to just throw you in the muck and ruin your character and ruin your name. And it's okay for everyone you've known for years to just suddenly believe it because you're a woman. Like, a lot of people don't necessarily realize that the way that the internet has treated Britney Spears, Britney Spears has treated Brittany Renner is much in the same way that the internet, treated Britney Spears. The way that the internet or the world has treated so many young women who are up and coming. Right, Amanda Bynes, so many. People have no idea. Does anyone know that Brittany Renner, like, yeah, sure, she did say that she wants to be a star. It's totally okay to run the propaganda campaign that therefore this is how she wanted to be a star. And so she went running for this. No one looked at the fact that, yeah, she was trying to be an athlete first, right? And then she was pursuing modeling, right? Because she wanted to be a famous model. And she was also acting and was actually in some movies, right? This was all before PJ. No one looks into that and says, oh, wait, so she said she wanted to shine. Did she do anything?
Yeah, but that still goes back.
They go, see, she just wants to star on PJ Washington's D, and that's it. It's like,
those signs. Hold on, CJJ, did Keke Palmer actually spelled it like that? I'm a mother. Yeah, that's crazy. But see, that just had me actually still ask the same question. Like, if you went that route with the education, with your background, and next thing you know, when you got with this guy, like, every choice you made, you didn't think, like, even myself, I took a lot of, like, I give a little bit what, like Ashley saying, right? Human beings first. But every time I make a choice about something, whether it's here on the platform, whether it's here in real life, and I might get L's, docs, light on, whatever, cool. But at the same time, I got to look at two sides: the choice I made and the aftermath. Was it worth it? Was it not worth it? And then I got to kind of process that and move on from that. I think it was so many steps of choices she made, especially with her background that she had before PJ. She still chose the road less traveled and try to make a cheat code out of it. And now when she's getting the attention that maybe she don't really want, and she's like, screw it. If y'all is saying I'm the bad guy, the villain, I'm going to be the villain. And yes, I'm sincere. I noticed that too. She had the Maleficent tattoo on her arm, which says a lot too about people's personality. So again, for me, all this is add up.
Not if you know the story of Maleficent. If you actually know the story of Maleficent.
Yeah, if you watch the movie, it's different.
Yeah. And
I do, but maybe go ahead.
Sometimes over hurt are still broken people who make bad decisions sometimes over hurt, regardless of what we think we would do in their scenario. They're still just people. Like, we put like these people like onto some other like level. Like, they're not just normal people. So a broken normal person who is literally damaged and hasn't actually repaired any of that, who might be having all kinds of different types of trauma responses, who might have some type of personality disorder or bipolar disorder, something like that, or some type of addiction or whatever, and that affects their decision making. you know, that's going to affect their decision making, whether or not they suddenly go viral and suddenly everyone knows their name, like they suddenly get a position in a movie. And so, hey, they're actually getting somewhere for themselves, because her first movie position was in 2018, 2019. So that's before PJ, right? People don't think about it. She's still broken though. All that brokenness and unresolved issues that happened prior to that point are still broken, unresolved issues.
All I can say is thank God that thank God I wasn't on the internet platform the first year or two after my divorce. I'm 5 years out and I am still a hot mess who is tore up.
The funny thing is,
you'd have been screwed.
God, I wasn't there.
She went into because I've kind of seen her for a while. So she went to like with true intentions. She moved to out of Mississippi for a guy. And then the guy broke up with her, and she was heartbroken. So she decided she wanted to continue playing sports. She got hurt. Then she said, "You know what? I like fitness. Let me be a fitness influencer. Let me try to develop that." And what happened was they saw her in her workout stuff and said, "You know what? Maybe you should do some bikini shots. Just a couple. Just do a couple bikini shots. We'll take a picture." She started taking that, and then celebrities start noticing her, and then they start promising her stuff. And then other people start promising her stuff. And then all of a sudden, she kept getting let down after let down after let down after let down because they got what they wanted from her, and then they pushed her to the side.
And then she had a person who came from a very broken home and very broken background to begin with.
Yeah, and it's so I've seen this. I've hung out, and there's women in my family who I've seen this movie. You know, and it only ends up a couple of different ways. Unfortunately, it ends up with you kind of saying, "You know what? This whole limelight thing is not worth it. Let me find Joe, who's the manager of a bank in Kansas City, Missouri, and be his wife, have a couple of his kids, and just live a basic life that I can find some way to fulfill myself." Or it ends itself in tragedy.
No, or doesn't have to marry anyone. She gets a good PR person who looks out for her image, and she learns that she's actually worth it and smart and worthy on her own, and doesn't need all this crap.
That's idyllic. I'm talking about the way it usually happens. It happens in some kind of tragic way, where we're watching the true Hollywood story, or the
no, I got
or
you.
What's call it, or she disappears from everything except that her real happiness won't come from being a celebrity.
Yeah, but even if she accepts that, how is she going to get a job? It's kind of like Lana Rhoades wanting to just go get a normal job.
Well, there's a difference between Lana Rhoades.
Barely. Honestly, barely. Brittany Renner, you cannot Google Brittany Renner right now. Just Google her name. And the first 5 pages are going to be terrible. It's basically, she's a prostitute. That's how they sell her, right? She's a prostitute.
I'll do that right now.
Into the sports arena, right? That's all they ever talk about is the fact that, oh yeah, no, you know what? All these people, she just wanted to hook a
Lana Rhoades is a convicted felon who did.
Here's the thing: people may not have seen her video, but there's not literally 25 pages talking about what a horrible actual person that Lana Rhoades is. There's not, but there is about Brittany Renner. Brittany Renner is like the ultimate villain. This is like, she's a terrible person.
She could step
She's
away
going to
from
use her company to try to find high rollers so she can try to trap them with the baby. You want to hire her?
She can step away from everything. Cut down all her internet for 5-6 years. Move to a smaller place, and she can be an account rep for a software company, and
as soon as someone's
like that.
That's what Fresh and Fit was telling her the same thing. Like, yo, you literally can get. There's an exit strategy for you right now.
No, she can still get hired.
There'll be somebody hired her because she's attractive, and maybe they know, and they'll think it'll be a little bit celebrity. It'll be like peach or whatever. They're like, cool to have a semi-celebrity with them or whatever like that, and they're not gonna care. They're not gonna care.
Brittany, come to the South. Come to the South. Trust me, they'll take you.
One person, I'd love to see that.
We don't care. We don't care at all.
Yeah, we don't care.
I can tell you,
we got a lot of hicks in our head.
There's a lot of video victims right there that are like are living really basic lives right now. They're really basic lives, and they're happy as hell to have these boring basic lives.
Shout out to Dane. Shout out to the retired porn stars. They actually got documentaries on it. A lot of them did have 10-year career of just sexing all up, and guess what? They somewhere Arkansas and Colorado got their own land and stuff, and family, and they
Arkansas,
retired.
not Arkansas. Come on.
Yeah, we got. All right, let's get the video.
It can happen.
It can happen.
It's
It's
un-
ain't a waterproof set, so
yeah, it's
this ain't-
uncomfortable to be wet.
Yeah.
I've never been wet before, but yeah, I'm sure it's uncomfortable to be wet.
You know, moist is one thing, but wet is just another. It ain't what we shooting for. Yeah, you know what I mean.
Isn't that
Miss Ma'am?
No,
Miss
come on,
Ma'am.
please, come on, man, please. No, come on,
I
man,
need you
please,
to be kind and respectful to my guests. Oh, where that pig poker at, man? Go ahead and get the pig poker out. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. I didn't do nothing for that. Oh, that's wait a minute, Miss Renner.
All right, chill.
We saw stuff for behavior. That's for the
All right. Landon, the stream is now for fucking private. Put it private.
Hey, y'all, I gotta
Wow.
dip out. Much love.
Right,
Good
Ashley.
conversation. Thanks for having me. And sorry I was a little not quite myself tonight. Y'all have a good
No,
one.
you're fine. Honestly, I thought
You
you were gonna
too.
be the villain. I thought you were gonna be the
Right?
villain and antagonist of this conversation. So yeah, you
Yeah, that's a
Yep.
surprise.
That was
you have
me.
final
Bye.
thoughts, Ashley, before you go. Final thoughts.
Final thoughts is just what we already been said. I think it's very important to remember that this is an actual human being who has had experiences that we can't quantify, who has real crap going on. It's hard for me to say my thoughts when I can't cuss on your panel. It's like taking away half my vocabulary. But I'm just saying. But I don't know. Has she made mistakes? Sure, it seems like it. But all I know is that until I hit the point in my life where I fell off of my high horse and I was knocked around a few times, I seem to have all the answers and all the judgment of others as well. And now, as a humbled, divorcee of myself, I don't know, man. I just have a lot more compassion for people than I used to. And that's my final thoughts.
Fair enough. Appreciate you. This Wednesday was it 8 p.m. Eastern your time and 8 p.m. Central my time? Okay, she just cut out. 8 p.m. I think it's 7 p.m. Eastern, 8 p.m. Central. That time, I will be over to Ashley's platform where the conversation will be about what makes a man and what makes a woman a woman. I'll be reaching out to people because we pretty much gonna do it like this. Have she picking two women, the group of conversation. I think it's Angela and Sarah, the tomatoes, gonna be over there. And I have an act, so I didn't want to put the pressure on Dame because I know it's like once a week over here. So Dame, the door is open if you want to join in for that conversation.
When is it?
It's tomorrow. I think it's at 7 p.m. Eastern. But I'll give you her link because it'll show the time zone on there. But I think
6 o'clock. But is that so that's 8 o'clock our time?
Well, you Cali, so I
6
think
o'clock our
it's
time.
6 o'clock your time. So yes, the options out there. So I'm gonna hit up email because I know he
Send me
said
the link, man.
no problem. So it's gonna be two guys on my end, two girls are in. So I think it's Angela Knight from her end and Sarah the tomato, the raging tomato. Then it's gonna be I'm reaching out to two fellas. So y'all more than welcome. Hit up either man because I know you said Tuesdays he can't be available, but I'm gonna see if he's available for that that Wednesday. Yeah, but that's pretty much it. So final thoughts, Wes, Ruby, and Dane.
So Brittany Renner, she doesn't believe that she deserves to be loved, and that's why she keeps surrounding herself with people that can't actually care about her and just take advantage of her. But she is a participant in her own story. She knows what she's getting into when she gets into it. And at this point, I think she's getting into these things. Like when she went on and did all that crazy stuff there, like at this point, she knows that when she's asked onto a podcast of all these famous guys, that they're going to try and goad her in some fashion. I think she welcomes it because she likes the check and she's still getting the limelight. For good or for bad, she wants the attention.
Fair enough. Dane?
It's Damien now, but he's on mute.
Yeah, exactly. Brittany Renner is not a villain, but she's not an innocent. I think she's a co-conspirator in her own situation. I think what it is she has unwittingly allowed herself to be taken advantage of. And now she feels like in order to take some of that power back, she has to do such crazy shit in order to make it seem like, no. I'm not the victim here. See, I'm doing this wild shit. I'm in charge. I'm owning this. I'm the one who's running my show. And she's not. I think she needs some help. I think there's a lot of women. There's a lot of Brittany Renners in the public eye right now that need some help. They need some consideration. And I think, this is the pie in the sky attitude, is that, we need to stop consuming this kind of content that makes people justified in using people who are going the Brittany Renners out in the world, because it'll never be a space for her to just step away, get some help and come back and be accepted, because she'll always be labeled Brittany Renner, whose only value is salacious sound bites, so I think what needs to change is our need to consume this kind of shit, and that way people will never get themselves wrapped up into it to where they may feel like they can't get out of it. So that's my final thought.
Fair enough. Ruby?
I think actually, and I'm kind of glad that they did release the entire podcast as a whole. I think people should watch the whole thing. I think it's important to actually, I don't know if the Danza show knew that they were doing this, but it happened anyway, that you put Charleston White and Brittany Renner into contrast with one another, because the major difference between the two, as so far as the fact that they're both massive internet villains, right? And we talked about it earlier as far as, one of them, you're villainizing her actual life. You're twisting the details of her actual life and putting the worst possible spin and cherry picking from, the worst things, dismissing everything else, not seeing her as a whole person in context, but you're talking about her real life. But the reason why that's so important is because I think we're talking about two people who kind of see each other and understand each other. I'm talking about Charleston and Brittany, who both come from obviously disadvantaged, unprivileged backgrounds, bad backgrounds, and both did some stuff and went through some stuff. The difference is Charleston did a lot of time. 14, he committed a murder. He went to prison for some time as a result. And he actually did the work and did the recovery to kind of get to somewhere else. He was a bad kid in a bad place, being a bad person. And, him going to prison took him out of a lot of the things he was doing, saved his life in a lot of ways, and then helped to refocus his life. Whereas in Brittany never had that opportunity. So nothing changed for her. She didn't heal. She didn't grow. She didn't change. She's desperately been searching for love, and for, a way to be important, a way to fulfill that feeling of, I think I'm meant to be a star. And everyone bastardizing that and making that all about her being, she wants to be the next baller wife or whatever, instead of recognizing no, the actual history of her life proves that she wanted to do things on her own merit. And that, based on the PJ thing, based on all the negative press she was getting, based on all the villainization she was getting, based on all of the roles, because she was steady getting into movies. She was in 3 or 4 movies. And then all of a sudden it's she's the world's villain, can't get her into movies anymore. No one wants to hire her. Hey, well, I got a role for you. You want to be the internet villain who teaches everybody about banging? Here, look, write a book, right? This is a problem with vulnerable people, obviously, and people have mentioned that. But I think it comes down to, unfortunately, is that she never got to hit rock bottom and then have things, do that work to fix things for herself. And that's what we saw. And the sad thing is that most people are going to just use it as proof to prove this and that about the modern woman and da-da-da and blah, blah, blah. And it's dude, all I see is hurt. All I see is pain. All I see is devastation, destruction from these communities that, you know, my people live in, and I'm saying Black people live in, where, you know what, they're not allowed to be weak. They're not allowed to get help. You know, no one understands psychology. No one understands therapy and whatever. And it's just cycles of devastation and degradation over and over and over again. And that's what I see looking at both of those people. And that's probably why I did the deep diving. I did the research. I looked into both of them as individual people and for their lifetime, not just what they're most known for in the last year. And that's why I see them differently. And I see the story differently than most people want to, you know, push it. So was her behavior okay? Of course not. Did they want all that behavior to happen? Yes, they did. Is she going to keep doing this? Probably, as long as she doesn't get the help that she needs. I hope someone shows up in her life to help her get help. Hopefully Charleston is that person, since she's connected there, because he doesn't want to sleep with her because he has a wife that he loves and he doesn't actually cheat on her. So hopefully that connection though will be a jumping board for her and she starts getting help. I don't know, man. It just sucks. This sucks.
Fair enough. CGOJ said something. She said, why doesn't she release fitness clothing line? Again, I'm still in it's a lot of mental issues what I see with her, a lot of stuff that dots that she doesn't connect on her own. I seen a lot of people that gave her some great advice. I'm talking about Kevin Samuels in the Mr. interview. I'm not even a fan of Fresh and Fit, and they was giving like some sound advice like, hey, try this route. If we're talking about relationships, how about we dumb it down a little bit, because you're not going to get exactly what you want. Life sucks. Life hurts. This is where you need to go. Let's try that. I'm a fine component like, hey, you know what? Maybe if I make a mistake, if I trip, let me look and see why I trip. Let me look at my feet real quick. My shoes tied. Did anybody like make a comment? Like, let me look for that. I do feel like, especially with the videos, accountability on both parts. This is why I think very thoroughly who I invite on my platform, who I talk to, who I have conversations with. And I think a lot of other content creators need to do that. But at the same time, we get it. Everybody wants the clicks and the views. They don't care if you are special in the head or you're damaged. As long as you come up there and get the crazy rah rah rah, that's what they want you up there for, just for that. And unfortunately, that person cannot see that. Even in the chat, they'll be like, yeah, go, go, go. They're so consumed on the rah rah. And that's why I made a comment before when somebody shouted to Brittany Be, was like, hey, promote your channel. I'm like, they're not coming. This is not, and it's fine. This is not the space for you. I know. There are some spaces out there that's for the shenanigans, for the loud screaming, for the cursing back and forth. That's what they want. And I know this is not it. We're here for the conversation. We give our perspectives and we move the crap on. You know, you don't see no, let me have the beef with Wes. Let me have the beef with Dame. Let Dame and Ruby have the beef the next week. You know, saying bring stuff up. Nobody do that here. It's the base on the conversation. Let's have the conversation. Move the F on. That's it. Point blank, period. So with that being said, I will catch our guys. I would drop either man, if you can hear me, man, I'm gonna reach out to you 8 p.m. Central Time, I think that's what it is, or 7 p.m. Eastern Time. It's gonna be a conversation, a relationship conversation. What makes a man what makes a man, a woman a woman on the other end. So I'm trying to get the fellas from GP side to come over there. I just need two. I think it's gonna be a 2-hour conversation, I believe. But I'm just gonna bring everybody who's supporting CANIGETSOMEPODCAST and give the same support that Ashely gave to my channel. So I don't want to, because she mentioned simulcasting. I'm not a fan of that because I feel like it's a divide. So I just want to just bring, you know, anybody support the CANIGETSOMEPODCAST, come over there for the conversation. And if you like what she's about, hey, sub up and hit the like button. If you don't, it's the conversation. So I will catch everybody tomorrow. I will put it in the community tab. So everybody know where to go to support. So appreciate your guys. Catch y'all later.
I know you're out there. I can feel you now. I know that you're afraid. You're afraid of us. You're afraid of change. I don't know the future. I didn't come here to tell you how this is going to end. I came here to tell you how it's going to begin. I'm going to hang up this phone. And then I'm going to show these people what you don't want them to see. I'm going to show them a world without you. A world without rules and controls, without borders or boundaries. A world where anything is possible. Where we go from there is a choice I leave to you.